do 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 do. Testing audio, making sure everything is working. Free stream. Let's do this. Do 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 do. Yup. Yup. And it looks like we are good. Okay. Okay, I don't need that right now. Hi. Ooh. For some reason, it's 76 degrees in my crib, and I'm like, what did I do to turn it into the mercury? Like, I don't know why it's so freaking hot. But yeah, I'm trying to cool it off. So if you hear AC in the background, I do apologize. It should. I have my I have the desk situated in such a way that it should reject the fan noise of the 4090 plus my AC. So I literally have it strategically placed so that it should be able to reject it. But I guess we'll find out. But hi. How you doing? How you be? Talk to the AB, and yeah, welcome. So just give everybody a synopsis. This is a technical support stream, exactly, kind of. Yeah, it's pretty much a technical support stream. So basically, what we do is we troubleshoot issues, technical issues. It can be computer, network, internet, PC, whatever. Yeah, it doesn't really matter what kind of technical issue is. We kind of just troubleshoot whatever we get, and we also break in between, because if not, then it starts to diminish after a while, because it's kind of hard to stay focused for so long at such a high level, because we'll work a really high level issue, and then a low level issue, then a high level issue, and then a low level issue, then a medium level issue, then a high level. It can range, right? It can be cell phone, it can be networking, it can be laptops, it can be PCs, it can be ITX, it can be cell phones, it can be internet, DNS, it can be whatever. So because of that, I take breaks in between, and during those breaks, you can also ask any type of questions that you have, any chat questions that you have. I can answer them if I see them, because it's like right next to me. So, and also if I talk in this direction, I'm just talking to the chat. The camera happens to be on this side. I'll probably move it eventually, but it won't be today. So I'm just gonna sweat a little bit while we get started. Let me grab this fan here until my AC decides it wants to do right. Brand new AC. Still want to give me trouble. Okay, that works. All right, let's get to work. Oh God. My second fan fail. Okay. So I got some interesting stuff today. We got some returns from all of these, obviously Folding Meat and a couple of others. But it's like, oh my God, I just cut myself. It's like 8 or 9 of them. So I got some of that in there. I have some SFF in there, like small form factor. They had a Reddit, so I started pulling some stuff out of there. So have a little enjoyable breaks. I think that may be what the way this channel, or not this channel, but this stream may go, is that there are certain Reddit posts that give me a break, right? So there's, like, for example, SFFPC is like people who are building small form factor cases. Obviously, I'm a bit of a savant when it comes to small form factor cases, because that's all I build. So those kind of things where it doesn't really require anything of me, those are actually really good. So I may be in a situation where we may have like 20 high-end issues, and then we may have like 10 non-issues, and we may mix those in, and that actually spans the entire stream instead of me gaming, and then I have another stream dedicated to straight gaming. We may do something like that in the future as the channel grows and as I grow on different platforms, but we'll see. We'll work with it, So right now I just kind of do it just so I can break from it, but once I get better at this, and by better at this, I mean I grow and turn into something that I can support multiple people, help multiple people. Like, I wake up wanting to help as many people as humanly possible. Once I get to that level, then I'll probably turn it into a technical support stream. So bear with me while we are on that road. Alrighty, let's get started. So this is going to be a blast from the past. well, I guess it's not really a blasphemy past because I still can't pronounce his name, but this is Joda. Joda was having a frame per second drop while playing, and we were talking about this, and he said, when I'm playing any game or PC at any time, the FPS drops drastically to 4 or 5, limiting itself to that. After that, it stabilizes at 60, but at the moment it goes down. I need some help. And I had mentioned to him that, hey, is VSync turned off? Also, I would say update your graphics drivers. Also, what graphics card do you have? Also, what resolution are you running at and what game are you playing? So he didn't have a whole lot of information, so I could just kind of reply with, hey, give me more information. He actually said some interesting stuff. He said, VSync is disabled. I don't have a graphics card. I only use integrated graphics of the i3 1005 G1, and the problem happens in all games. Yeah, well, that's a i3 1005 G1. I don't know what you really want me to say here. Yeah, I don't think you can hold that. I truly don't. Like, how old are we talking? I don't remember this model. i3 1005 G1. Oh. Oh. No. 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 No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Y'all want to tell him, or do you want me? Unfortunately, that CPU isn't exactly ideal for playing games. Let me ask you this. Was there a point in time where it was giving you a stable? Oh my God. My English teacher is rolling around in her grave. What is wrong with you, Anthony? Where it was giving you a stable 60 FPS, 60 frames. Let me ask you this. Was there a point in time where it was giving you a stable? I used to have this English teacher, right? And she used to, this is how, okay, so I grew up, obviously I didn't have a whole lot growing up and all that kind of stuff, but because I hung around it, I had really bad lingo. I never talk the way I talk now. But what she would do is everything that I asked her, she would completely ignore me unless I asked her in the form of a question. Like if I asked her a question, it has to be in the right tense. It has to be have the right prepositions and all that kind of stuff. And then she would reply in a question. And so she would kind of force my lingo. So if my lingo was off, or if I didn't pause or break or stay in the same tense, she would ignore the sentence completely. And it wasn't just me. She did the whole class like that. So some people would ask a question and she would ignore them completely. And then they have to think about their sentence structure and what they said and then raise their hand again. Like, it was so annoying. But eventually, everybody in the class learned how to talk. We may have failed a few tests here and there, but everyone learned how to talk. So yeah, props to her. But yeah, that's where I got that from. Let me ask you this. Was there a point in time where it was giving you a stable 60 FPS? Yeah, we'll do it like this. So with these, when you have situations like this, right? Everybody named Mama that is technically savvy knows that that's really, 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 really not gonna get it. Like for example, I know. Oh, also, see, I take it you're running at 720. I take it you are running at 720p. I gotta ask that, because if he says 1080, it's game over. But if he says he was playing at 720, 60 frames per second, that's a possibility. You know, I don't think it's going to be a great possibility, but okay, everybody that's technically savvy and their mama probably knows that this i3 1005, well, probably not their mamas, but most people know that that's probably not going to be the best thing that you can run. Like for example, the Steam Deck, which has what does it have that I can't even remember what the name of that. It's like a dual core or whatever. But even the Steam Deck can't really run 1080p at 60 frames per second on every game. You know what I mean? Like even the Steam Deck fails, you know, and that has a stronger processor than this guy. So that's why I'm like, you know, and the Steam Deck can't do 1080 at all. It just does 720. So, or is it 720? Something like that. Steam Deck is kind of weak. And great great idea, but the system itself is kind of weak. So I already know a Steam Deck can't do it. So I already know that he's going to struggle. So instead of you just being like, nah, fam, this is not going to work, what you can do is just say, hey, was there ever a time where it did work? You don't want to judge his setup without knowing, because he may be like, oh, no, I don't know what you're talking about. This works. I usually run at 480p. You don't know how people game, man. You're just going into what you think gaming is, which is like 1080p and up, right? That's what most people think gaming is. But hey, some people don't game that way. Some people game at 720p. Some people game at a 480p. You just don't know. So don't go in just straight up judging people and be like, oh yeah, this is not gonna work, Playboy, and not know what he games at. He may straight up game at 720p and he's perfectly happy with it, because 720p isn't bad. So can this give you 720p 60 FPS? Probably not, but it at least makes it a topic of a discussion. You see what I'm saying? Like, for example, he was getting 60 and now he's getting 30, and I would still work that issue. You see what I'm saying? Just don't cast your aspersions on his issue. It's not productive, because you have this whole elitist mentality because you have all this gear and all this shit. It doesn't mean anything. It means absolutely nothing. All it means is that you know how to troubleshoot a lot of different things, but you can't take that and then apply that to a customer, because you apply that to a customer, they don't have that kind of stuff. Some people are just fine with 720p. My mom played the Nintendo Wii for like 8 years. so you never know what people play and what they enjoy. So don't cast your 1080p and higher aspersions on other people, because some people just play at 720p. So that's the reason why you do that. That's the reason why you be like, hey, let's counter. Was there ever a time where it worked? And that's kind of a good way to go about it. So that way we'll hopefully hear back from him. But yeah, that's how you do that. You want to counter him. All right, Jota. Hope that helps. Okay, this isn't the one I worked. This is the new one. All right, so this is from Pink Panther with this face. Pink Panther writes, green static screen appears when connecting to my TV, which is an X95J, to my PC of 4080. Dear Lord. This is super powerful. If I know what this is, yeah. This is the Sony Bravia. I was like, I could have sworn I knew that model number. That's a bad man. All right, cool. Green static screen appears when connecting my TV to my PC 4080. Okay, let's look at the problem. Last time this bit us in the ass, right? Because we were looking at these clips and images and videos, and I didn't have my headset on, and we could have solved that man's issue in like 20 seconds if we had heard the Apple logo. So now when we look at these images and stuff, we make sure we look at them specific. This is crazy, but we make sure that we look at them in detail. That way we can save ourselves some time and save them some time, because last time I'm still mad about that. By the way, I be thinking about that at night. Like, just how much time we wasted. We wasted 2 days of that man's time because we didn't listen to the audio. If we had listened to the audio, we could have saved that man 2 days of his life. Like that's the kind of thing that irritates me, and makes me want to be better. Because if we would have just listened, we would have never had that problem. So, and he could have saved 2 days of his life. You see what I'm saying? So that's when you become at this level of diagnosing issues, like, little stuff can get to you, because you hold yourself to such a high standard. If you bring yourself down, or if you do anything that compromises that, it'll drive you crazy. Like, literally, you won't even be able to sleep. It's crazy. Alrighty, so this is a problem. That's not good. See full image? Oh man, that's really bad. Could it be a cable? Yeah, but that's not great. That's not great at all. All right, let's read it. The problem appeared after installing the 4080 yesterday, before I had a 2080 Ti plugged into my PC and PC connected to the TV without a problem. I have checked, and it's not a VRR problem, variable refresh rate, problem, nor cable problem, as the cables have been working before yesterday, and moments ago I tried the HDMI cable on another TV, old non-smart TV, and my PC connected to it without a problem. His PC, his new PC? Or he said before yesterday, and moments ago I tried HDMI cable on another TV, and my PC connected to it without a problem. In other words, with still the 4080 connected, he hooked it up to another computer and everything was fine. Another thing I have discovered that starting the PC in safe mode makes the PC connect to the TV. I also tried factory resetting the TV and the problem still persists. Okay, this helps. I tried to fiddle with the NVIDIA panel display settings and Windows display settings and nothing works. Although changing the resolution makes the static colors vary in size and quantity. I have no problem connecting my monitor to my PC. I have no problem connecting my TV to my PS5. It's specifically a problem between the PC and the X95J TV. I don't have a Sony Bravia, bro. That's pro as hell. TVs you kind of can't replace until one breaks. So I don't have that to test it. But the way that it's showing it, it almost looks like, let's think about that. The way it looked, man, it looked bad. It looked real bad. But if he takes the computer and he takes the cable to another television, it works just fine. And what triggers me is that he said that he had no issue in safe mode. What resolution was your TV showing in safe mode? What resolution? Okay, it was a few things that are kind of interesting. What resolution was your TV in safe mode? That's question number one. All right. Question number two. This is going to get real interesting. Watch this. Question number two. Do you have the most up-to-date driver? Right? I always ask that. But here's where I'm gonna throw a loop in it. Okay, can you uninstall your NVIDIA driver? Okay, let's think about what's happening, right? He said it works in safe mode. What does safe mode do? It kills all your applications. So if it kills all his applications, then what happens when he uninstalls the NVIDIA driver? Remember, if you want to uninstall the NVIDIA driver on a 4080, it just goes to Microsoft Basic Display, or just any graphics card, really. It just goes to Microsoft Basic Display Adapter. I'm wondering if he has a picture then, okay? Because that will point us in the right direction and let us know that we're dealing with an NVIDIA issue and not his Bravia. So that will help us. So can you uninstall your NVIDIA driver and see if the issue persists? Okay, because if it persists, then we're really looking at the Bravia, right? Because we know if we move the computer and the cable to another television, everything is fine. Okay, so and on top of that, now we've uninstalled the driver. So now it's just a freaking card in a computer. I wonder, he probably has a really pro CPU, but we already know the 2080 Ti works. So we don't really need another computer in order to prove this, because we already know the 2080 Ti works. So now it's like, okay, well, it's either going to be your graphics card or some compatibility issue on the monitor. Both can update drivers, by the way. So I would say uninstall the NVIDIA driver and see if the issue persists. If it does, then update the firmware on the Bravia, like that, right? So if the issue persists, go ahead and update the Bravia, because that's all that's left. Because if you don't have any drivers hooked up, yet you still have the problem, then we're really looking at the TV at that point, right? So either it's going to be a firmware issue on the graphics or the firmware issue on the Bravia. But somebody got a firmware issue to show him a green screen like that if we know that the cable on the graphics card is cool. On top of that, we know safe mode works. So we'll just play it like that. Okay, well, you told us everything you need to know by saying safe mode works. If safe mode works, okay, cool. Let's go into regular mode and disable everything that safe mode disables and see what happens. And then go from there. So yeah, I would say that. One more thing. Also, he said he tried varying resolutions, but he never mentioned if he tried 1080p 60 frames per second. Also try 1080p 60 FPS if you haven't already. All monitors, well, most monitors can run 1080p 60 FPS unless we're talking about like those old school monitors that wanted to be TVs, but they were really just oversized monitors, like Westinghouse used to have them. They were gigantic monitors but they looked like TVs. They were freaking huge, but they were actually monitors. And but they couldn't do 1080p. So that was back in 720. I'm just dating myself, but unless it's one of those, which it's not obviously. So but I just want to make sure that he actually did try 1080p 60 FPS. All right, that is some of the proest stuff ever. That's how you would do that. And it's rare somebody would tell you to uninstall the driver and like leave it uninstalled in order to test an issue. But in his case, I would do it. All right, Pink Panther, that is some pro stuff I gave you. Hopefully that helps. That was fun too. That's a crazy issue though. But yeah, I think you can fix it. Alrighty, so this is from Zorana the Eagle. Okay, oh, it's not working. Okay, well, this is gonna be long. Alrighty, so Zorana writes, connection issues in games, but no noticeable packet loss. Okay, so it's gaming and networking. Okay, I want tea. I need tea. I need tea. There we go. Got the good stuff. Oh yeah, that's that good stuff. So for context, I live in a rural. Now y'all see why I was laughing prematurely. I live in a rural blank area. My internet provider is T-Mobile, and the service is delivered via a cellular network, right? I got you. I don't have any other options for internet in my area. I've lived here for a little over a year and have had varying issues with their services ever since. Currently, I'm experiencing an issue where when I am playing online video games, there will be occasional yet brutal lag spikes that completely disrupt my gameplay, which in some cases will lead to me disconnecting from the game server entirely. At first, I thought it was just spotty service, but it is fairly consistent. This issue has led me to being unable to play certain games due to the fact that it will just disconnect me entirely. However, other games that I play seem to be able to handle it just fine. Grand Theft Auto 5, Fortnite, RuneScape. There's reasons for that. Grand Theft Auto, Fortnite, and RuneScape. Sometimes games have lag protection. So what they'll do is instead of just completely kicking you out, they will give you time to respond. So they'll give you like 5 seconds or 10 seconds to respond before they kick you out the game. The reason why I know this is because Genshin Impact started to do it. They didn't do it originally. They'll just kick you out the game. But in recent updates, they actually do it now too. So it'll take you like maybe 5-10 seconds before they kick you out the game completely. Games that have open areas where if you get 5 seconds of delay, it won't actually do anything. Those are the kind of games like Grand Theft Auto, though, and RuneScape. Those are the kind of games that will do something like that. Fortnite, I didn't know Fortnite did that, but it's a possibility. One of my friends told me a run command on command prompt that constantly pinged a Google server to see if there was any noticeable changes during these lag spikes. But the latency was very consistent even when I was playing online games. The lag spike will occur in-game, but no sharp difference in latency happened during it. I also ran a packet loss test while playing Raft with my friends, I'm guessing Rift, with my friends that went on for 3 minutes. Packet loss test, and despite there being a few lag spikes during the 3-minute duration, there was 0 packet loss and only about 32% of the packets were late according to the test. There's a reason for that. The following are the things that I have done to try to fix it myself, but to 0 avail. Restarted my router. This is include power cycling it, changing Ethernet ports, ran commands on my command prompt, netish, winsock reset, interface IP reset, IP config release renew, IP config flush DNS. Oh girl, you know your stuff. Disable the firewall settings from my antivirus. I use Bitdefender. I am not the smartest when it comes to networking problems. Bullshit. And if there is any information that would be needed that I did not include, please let me know. I don't know where else to turn to at this point. I got you, boo. I don't know if this is a girl. It's a girl. Oh, I don't want to assume genders. I got I'll help. Oh, I miss the 90s when you could just say I got you, boo, and people would know that you're telling a joke. Now you get sued, so I'll just not do that. Instead, let's talk about this issue. All right, so let's talk about this part right here. All right, there's a reason for this. That whenever you run a packet loss, you see 0 packet loss, even though you had lag spikes. Okay, let's discuss what's happening, right? So whenever you're on a site, or if you're playing a game and you're playing a game that's like an MMO or whatever, you're sending packets back and forth to a server. Okay, those packets are actually pretty decent size. So they're going to be somewhere around 500 bytes to like 1,000, right? They're usually smaller packets, but they're about 500 to 1,000, somewhere in that area. So you can't compare that to a ping, because a ping is just, hello, are you there? It's a very, very, very small packet. It's like 32 bytes or something. Bytes? Is it bytes? Bits? It's 32 bytes. So it's very, very small. Very, 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 very small. Versus a 500 byte packet, you know, and so it's just a small, you can't compare them. But at the same time, if you really are having true latency, you will actually see it in a regular ping. But you can change the size of the packet in the ping, and that usually will help in order for you to see it, because 1500 is the max, right? So, but in this particular situation here, they were saying they had 0 packet loss, but they keep getting lag spikes, so they probably have latency in the line. But I don't think that they are looking at this in the same way. Okay, when you ping, you're not really looking to see how many pings were successful. You're looking, if we're talking about latency, we're looking to see the time at which it responded. So if it has 13 millisecond response time and then 336 millisecond response time, then that's your issue. So in this particular situation here, I would say the issue is probably latency. So in this issue, I would say the issue is more than likely latency. It isn't so much that we are looking for packet drops. You are looking for packet delay. So what is valuable in the ping test is the millisecond response time of the packet. Is a millisecond response time of the packet. If it spikes from, let's say, 30 milliseconds to 300, then that's your problem. Also, be sure that you are connected directly to the router, even if it's only temporary. Your signal is already weak. No need to add to it with Wi-Fi. Right? That's how you would answer that, right? So all she really, what she proved was that she doesn't have packet loss, but she has not proved whether or not she has latency. It's two different things. Packet loss, it just means that I send a packet somewhere and nobody replies back. That's packet loss, right? Latency means that I sent a packet and it took, 200 milliseconds for it to get there, and it replied back in 13 milliseconds. That is a problem, because if you look at traffic, like for example, a lot of servers and MMOs and things of that nature, they like to send traffic based on UDP, which means that UDP is time-based, right? So like for example, if I make a phone call and I say hello and there's latency in the line, you probably got the H. You see what I'm saying? That's what that means. So latency can be a very, very big problem whenever you're playing MMOs, because you might hit a monster and it may not register, or somebody may hit you and it may not register because you have latency. So I don't think that she has, because on top of that, sometimes it'll kick you out if your latency is too high. So if you spike above, like, let's say 300, 400, 500 milliseconds, you're pretty much dead at that point. But some games may not kick you out because of it, and some games will. It really kind of just depends on the game. So yeah, I think that what she is actually fighting is latency, but she was treating it as packet loss. And she was doing everything as if it was packet loss. She would do all the things that I would tell you to do if it was packet loss. It was packet loss. Well, okay, not necessarily, because I wouldn't do all that. I would just, tell you to hook up directly, move the firewall, stuff like that. So she was doing a few of those things, right? She was doing Bitdefender, stuff like that. So she was troubleshooting as if it was packet loss, but her real issue seems to be latency here. So, we'll do everything and troubleshoot as if it was latency. Cool. Fun issue, Zorana. Got me all in my networking mode. Alrighty. Okay, give me 1 second here. Let me check something real quick. I just want to make sure I didn't break anything while I was getting all this crap set up. Oh no, I'm good. Okay, just making sure. Making sure y'all can hear me. Okay, yeah. I gotta keep my eye on it because you know OBS be tripping. And it's kind of loud. Why am I almost at peaking here? Is that better? Okay, yeah, that's better. All right. So what, girl? No, that's not right. Let me go one up, and then let me just come down a little bit here. It's a little bit too high. Okay. Yeah, that's better. Okay. I have to work just to get it to the red now, whereas before it was just always in the red. I don't want to peak. That's a little bit much. Alrighty. So, Zarana, I hope that helps. I keep reading that first sentence by mistake. All right. So this is from Nimiron. Nimiron. Okay, cool. Make sure it's not a repeat. Okay, cool. Nimiron writes, reactivating a graphics card without a screen. Oh man, this is like that issue from yesterday. Well, old dude was talking about he lost his mouse and keyboard, and yet he got into safe mode, and then we argued, about how the hell did he get to safe mode? And then we were like, okay, well, okay. And then I was started telling him to get the device manager, and then we were like, well, how the hell is he gonna get the device manager if he doesn't have a keyboard and mouse? It's the same situation. Okay, cool. Let me get ready for this. All right, my laptop screen is broken. I have an external screen. Okay, that's our baseline. Only one port on my laptop in HDMI 1, most likely linked to the GTX 1060. Great card. The external screen can be connected in HDMI, right? Problem, the GPU is deactivated through Windows Device Manager, so only the integrated graphics chip provides video output, which is output into the broken screen. It's a laptop, right? Yes. If I was to unplug my laptop screen, I dismount it. Would the external screen plugged in HDMI suddenly start working since it would be the only screen? Like, would the video output automatically switch to the only available screen even though the GPU is deactivated? Hold on. What if I disconnect the graphics card, turn on and off the laptop, then reconnect the graphics card, then turn on the laptop again? Would that automatically reactivate the GPU? Or would Windows remember that it's deactivated? Okay, let's think about this. What's she saying? Okay, she has a laptop with no screen. She has a graphics card, a GTX 1060. Why the hell is what? A GTX 1060 isn't in laptops. She means a 1060M. Most. Okay, so okay, maybe her laptop has a GTX 1060, but the mobile version, the laptop version. Okay. What? No. Even that way, it wouldn't work because you said the GPU. If I was to plug my laptop screen, hold on, the GPU is deactivated through Windows Device Manager, so only the integrated graphics chip provides video output, which is output into the broken screen. So the only integrated graphics chip provides video output. What are you talking about? If it's a 1060, what? It's if it's a 1060 that's internal to the laptop. You're talking as if you have an external GPU. So only the internal graphics chip provides video output, which is output onto the broken screen. If I was to unplug my laptop screen, I dismount it. Would the external screen plugged in HDMI suddenly start working since it would be the only screen? Okay, so she is trying to get a picture on her second screen. Reactivating a graphics card without a screen. Okay. She never mentioned if the second screen gives a picture. It should give a picture regardless if the graphics card is disabled or not. How did it get disabled? How can you undo that? So if your graphics card is disabled, okay, we got to figure out what tools we got. First off, does the monitor actually have a picture? Like, is it showing itself as an external screen? Only one port on my laptop in HDMI will most likely link to GTX 1060. The external screen can be connected in HDMI. Would the external screen plugged in HDMI suddenly start working since it would be the only screen? No. Well, there's no way to know. I don't think anyone would know that. There is no way to know that, unfortunately. Because nobody removed, like literally ripped off the laptop screen in order to see if the chassis will still connect and show you a picture with the graphics card disabled. Like who? No one would do that. So there's no way to know that, unfortunately. However, there is a vital piece of info we need. When you have the laptop, I already know how to fix our issue, but I still want to ask this question. When you have the laptop plugged into the HDMI port, does it show a picture? Also, the best way to troubleshoot this would be to find a USB to HDMI adapter and use that to plug in the monitor. See what we did there? So we went right past the fucking graphics card. So essentially, we are going right past the graphics card. Yep, right to the CPU. That's how you do that. That's how you troubleshoot that issue. It came to me while I was working on this stuff. It's almost like this is almost invalid, but we still want to know it. But this is really what you do to fix the issue. This is how you fix that issue. It's crazy that that came to me, but yeah, that's how you would do it. If you have no monitor screen and your GPU just happens to be disabled in the laptop, okay, and you're trying to hook up a second monitor, but you have no screen because the graphics card is disabled, so you can't hook it up via HDMI. Well, hook it up via USB. That is the CPU. That's not the GPU anymore. That's you plugging into a USB port on the motherboard. So now it should show you a picture, and it should be an extended screen. And now that you have that second screen, you can just move everything over by hitting Windows right or right arrow key, and you can just move everything over to the other screen until you can get it to show as your primary screen, and then fix everything. So yeah, one USB to HDMI adapter will solve her whole problem. That's how you do it. That was an interesting issue. It had me thinking for like 30 seconds. I appreciate it, Nimiron. Oh, okay, cool. So now we're gonna try this breaking into, oh my goodness. We're gonna try this break with this kind of stuff. I don't even know what case that is. That's a huge case. So the 4090 really does look like this. It's freaking huge. And it's very, very big, and it tends to bow out of cases. That's actually a pretty nice build though, even though it's, you know, kind of removed it so everybody can kind of see it. Yeah, that is, mine does that too. Like it kind of bows out a little bit. It's huge. It's freaking huge. And on top of that, what's so bad about this 4090 here is that the other fan on the back is getting suffocated because there's nothing that it can actually breathe through. That's why he has to leave it open like that. Like, look at that. That's a fan there. And it can't even, there's no way for it to get any type of air unless this is actually open. But yeah, I don't think it is. That's harsh, man. So this is what, the Lian Li Q58? Ooh, that looks nice though, on the other side. Yeah, that's pretty nice. What case is this? I mean, it's nice. It's nice. But you know, a lot of people who got that 4090s, they didn't really get a chance to choose what kind of cars they have. He would have done so much better with a regular 4090, like a gigabyte or something. But hey, we can't choose our battles. We just kind of pick them. I don't even know. That don't even make sense. But it's just, you know, that 4090. I mean, it probably is all right. It does better than mine. Like if you look, I can't show you mine. Oh, maybe I can. I can show it to you by doing it like this. All right, we'll go like this, and then go like this, and then go like this. All right, so right there, you see that my display cables and HDMI cables are actually sticking out. That right there is annoying me. So the 4090 is so big in the Meshalicious that the you can't actually have the display cables and HDMI cables recessed. So there's no way to get around that. Like it literally it covers the entire size of the case. I was thinking about trying a Mushroom S, but I think they'll both have the same problems because they're both the same dimensions. I think my 49 is just kind of a little bit too big for the case, but it does fit. It's just that now all my cables are going at the top and I can't press the power button on the bottom because now it's flipped. I had to flip it upside down so that I wouldn't be pushing on those cables because they're sticking out of the top now, which, you know, it's an annoyance, but it's not like the biggest deal in the world because I can go right angle, but I don't want to. I'm just fine with that. I'll just turn it upside down and leave it like that. It's okay. You know, I don't need that power button and I don't need those USB-Cs because the power button, you can just set it to as soon as you plug in power, it powers on. Then you don't need the button. And then the USB-C, I don't need that because I have like underneath my desk, I have USB and USB-C and SD cards and all that kind of stuff. So I don't really need it. So it's not the biggest deal in the world, but it's something to take note of. So yeah, the 4090, it gives you some pretty nasty build options and puts you in kind of a rough spot. Like where he is and where I am, it's kind of, they're iffy, man. It's really hard builds, but still, I mean, it's still pretty sweet though. It's a perfect fitment, you're right, but you know, it's a perfect fitment, but at the same time, your GPU is gonna have a little bit higher temperatures because that fan is suffocated. But you know, it is what it is with ITX cases, man. Alrighty. Okay, cool. So we're just gonna go ahead and jump to Samsung. All right. Oh man, that's still pretty good, even cold. The fan is blowing on the tea, and it made the tea not hot anymore, but it's still pretty good. All right, so this is from Drifto. Drifto writes, battery drain on my Samsung Galaxy S9. So I bought a Samsung Galaxy S9 and it was fine. The battery was fine, but when I put my SIM card and got it set up with my stuff, the battery drain was atrocious in 1 hour. It went down 20% from 100 to 80 just watching YouTube. And when it went below 40 or 30%, it will lose charge rapidly, like in 2 minutes, it hit 0. I just wanted to know what I did wrong or if there was something wrong with it. Well, which one is this? Samsung Galaxy. Come on. You gonna turn on? Bro, you were sitting on a charger. You're not gonna turn on? Oh, okay. So this is a Note 10. So this guy here doesn't. Okay. So what we would do for this here is we'll say it like this. What I was trying to look at was the back. I wanted to see if the batteries can be changed out on these. I couldn't remember off the top of my head, but no, the answer is absolutely not. So with this here, what I would say would be to update the Android OS to the most up-to-date version to see if that helps with battery life. Also reduce the screen brightness. And close any, well, he just turned it on, I think. Okay. Also reduce the screen brightness and see if that helps. But no, you didn't do anything wrong. You may have a faulty battery, but at least update to the latest version of Android before you make that conclusion. He may just need a Mophie, like literally walk around with a Mophie. It may be to a point, well, I mean, how did he get it? So I bought the Samsung Galaxy S9, it was fine, the battery was fine, but when I put in the SIM card, did you buy this from a friend? If the battery proves to be bad, you may still be able to return it. I'm not gonna say Mophie, because Mophies ain't cheap. But that was the first thing I thought of. Or maybe second thing I thought of, because I was thinking like, okay, because I was thinking about the brightness, right, and I was thinking about the most up-to-date version of Android, because remember, some of those phones, man, a lot of people used to feel like they would make you upgrade your phone, force you to, because they would kill your battery life. And I can't say, and I cannot confirm or deny if that's true. But in this particular case, I would say go ahead and update to the most up-to-date version, because you can't hurt it at this point. It died in like 9 seconds. So you can't hurt it. So the best thing you can do is go ahead and try to update to the most up-to-date version. Also lower your brightness and see if that helps. I don't know exactly how long. He said 100 to 80 from just watching YouTube, but watching YouTube is pretty intensive. Your brightness is at 100%. You know, I have the 10, he has the 9, and I don't run into that problem. But my battery can drain pretty quickly. If I just leave it on for a while, it will drain because I run it at 100% brightness. So that may be his issue, but I would rather him go ahead and update, lower the brightness, and see if that makes any difference. But his battery may be okay. I guess we'll find out. He'll let me know. All right, Drifto, I will probably see you tomorrow. All right, so this one here is going to be from Recluse. EXC. That's actually a pretty good name. Recluse writes, phone bugs out when charging. My phone screen will bug out and do random gestures like random letters when typing, but it only happens when I'm charging my phone. What's the cause? I'm using a 45-watt charger, but my phone supports up to 30 watts. Could this be it? Yeah, it's hot. Yeah, it sounds like your phone is hot. Slash overheating. Random letters when typing, but it only happens when I'm charging my phone. Therefore, things like extra buttons. Therefore, things like extra buttons popping up can happen. I would say to try with, yeah, the ROG2 too. Yeah, I would say to try with the included charger. I know I sound kind of like a douche for that. Obviously, if he had the included charger, he would use it. But or something of like power to see if that resolves the issue. It can be a USB-C on a PC for all I care. Ugh, give me 1 second. Annoying. Block user. Switch and switch back. How annoying. Okay. It can be a USB-C on a PC for all I care. But it would be something different to test. So try those out and let us know how it goes. Period. Yeah. I'd say that. It sounds like your phone is hot or overheating, therefore things like extra buttons popping up can happen. So when that processor starts to burn up or starts to get a little hot, it starts to have problems like this where it can overheat and stuff like that. It can not respond to buttons and stuff like that because it's kind of sweating, I guess is the best way to say it. So that's typically how it presents itself, where the screen might start to change colors and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it may be getting too hot. I will go with that. You can also try the driver update, but I mean, I think everybody knows that by now. But I'll say it. You can also try a driver update. Okay. Hope that helps, Recluse. Okay. Had to drink it before it turned into like cold Lipton green tea. All right, let's do this. All right, Recluse. Let's go ahead and go to the next one. Chopping. What does it go with chopping? Man, these one sentence ones be killing me. Chopping. Internet is working, but Wi-Fi has no connection. Internet is hooked up through LAN connection. My other devices can't connect on Wi-Fi. Okay. Okay. Is your yo Vec? How's it going, man? Vexzilla. It has been interesting. I've mixed up a few things. I've made some changes. So there's some SFF issues or builds in between, and I'm trying to use that to try to make it a little bit easier for me. And so I'm not just like constantly been bombarded with like complicated issues. So it's been pretty good so far. I'm liking it. And yeah, there's been a few interesting ones that we've come across. But yeah, it's been pretty good, bro. How's your day going? Okay, is your okay, internet is hooked up through LAN connection. My other devices can't connect to Wi-Fi. Okay, is your wireless router set up? Question mark. Has it worked before? Could you try rebooting your router to see if that resolves the issue? Yeah, I don't believe in just start going all in ham, checking DNS and IP configs and all that kind of stuff with a person that just puts one sentence in his question, because there's a pretty good chance that he's going to respond to you with one sentence. So why exacerbate it when you already know he's only going to give you like a one sentence answer? So there's no point in you asking him a whole paragraph. He's going to reply with one sentence. He started with one sentence. He's going to finish with one sentence. Nice, good to hear. Don't get burnt out. Hello, my day has been long, but no complaints. Just how it is sometimes. I get you, man. I get you. Oh, yeah, trying to pace ourselves. Alrighty. So yeah, that's what I would say to this. So I mean, I learned my lesson. Like, we did this before. We had some people that be asking these one sentence questions, and then you give them a paragraph response, and then they reply with, yeah, I tried that, or yeah, that didn't work, or no, that's not my problem, or hey, I tried that, didn't work, something like that. And it doesn't let me know, it doesn't give me any kind of context clues in order to try to figure out what your problem is. I mean, even Blue's Clues got at least 3 clues. You got to at least give me like 1 or 2. So that's the way I feel about it. All right, so Choppin, just let us know, man. I would say go ahead and reboot your router if you don't have any Wi-Fi, and just kind of go from there. But yeah, just let us know. Give us more information. Hello, the guys only has LAN. They don't have WAN. Exactly. But at the same time, I don't think he knows what WAN is, and he may just need to reboot his wireless router. But I'm not about to sit here and be like, oh man, go into your DNS and set it up or something like that, or maybe you don't have DNS, or maybe your wireless router isn't, the SSID isn't set up. I mean, it could be a million different things. Well, not really a million. It's like 12, but it could be 12 different things. But I'm not about to go through them for a person who gave one sentence question. Because if I get a one sentence answer, I'm gonna flip this fucking table. So I'm not even gonna ask. If he says no, I would flip this table and walk away. So I'm not even gonna try to put myself in that situation. Joda, I thought we just talked about him. Yeah, we did. He was the first one. Let me close that. I already did that one. Okay. So, well, here we go. We just had this conversation. GTX 1050 Ti lagging in Fortnite. So he was talking about he had the 1050 Ti and he was having some lagging issues. I said, it's not great. I would say the better question is, what resolution are you trying to play at? He said 1080 by 1920. So portrait? That is portrait. That's his cell phone. I have a GTX 1050 Ti I bought some years ago, but I noticed it's lagging a lot. I didn't play games for some times, but now I tried to play Fortnite, Horizon 5, Forza Horizon. Wow, I said Fortnite. Forza Horizon 5, and they both lag a lot, even on low settings, reaching a max of 20 to 30 FPS. My CPU is an i5-7600. That's a pretty good CPU. 16 gigs of RAM. What's wrong? Is the 1050 Ti really that bad in games? No, it's not. But I guess he means 1920 by 1080. I don't think he's using a cell phone or putting it in portrait mode. Oh yeah, that's right. And we cussed this guy out because I didn't like how he did that. So he said, try reformatting your PC since it probably has malware or crypto miner. How do I know if it's malware? Try antivirus. I did a complete scan of Bitdefender. Nothing was found. Set it to the lowest setting, including display resolution. There you go. I tried even with performance thing instead of DirectX 11, but I get max 60 FPS, but it freezes a lot. I tried looking at usage, and CPU and GPU are at 30%, but on core temp it says CPU is at 100% load and 30 degrees Celsius. Core temp. Well, that explains the freezing. Yeah. Okay, cool. I guess we can finish this out. Yeah, that core temp and 100% load is a killer. That explains the freezing and frame rate drops. Okay, let's explain it. See, at 1080p, your CPU is doing the bulk of the work depending on the game. So if it's at 100%, you are going to see those frame dips and freezing. I would say to close any programs you have running prior to you starting the game to see if that helps. But CPU load is our issue, so keep it there. Play a game while watching the CPU load to see if these changes made a difference. Yeah. You're talking about CPU at 100%, man. You're going to have exactly those problems, especially at 1080p. So, yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, 1050 Ti should be able to handle that okay. I mean, you're going to get somewhere between 60 at medium settings, but I mean, it should be all right. But yeah, your CPU is not helping you. If your CPU is at 100% utilization, you can't expect it to actually give you constant frame rates. It's not going to work. But it's nice that he actually told us that, because that's exactly what we needed to know. He solved the issue for us. Sweet. Alrighty, additional big 9780. I hope that helps. That should pretty much put you on the right path there. Okay, let's go ahead and go to the next one here. Spiritual Sun 8022, and this is new. I don't remember his name. All right, Spiritual Sun says, help. I can't tell you how many of these we do that start with help. How can I recover an audio sent to me on WhatsApp, a conversation app? First of all, I apologize for my English. It's not my first language. No problem, bro. Someone sent to me a recording audio of a meeting in 2021. I excluded it some time ago, but an emergency has happened, and I need it now. When I try to play it, I still have the conversation on the app, just the media is missing. It asked me to message the sender to send it again, but unfortunately, that's not possible either. I don't know if that's the right form, but I'm desperate. Can someone please help? Well, if it's no longer on the server, bro, I don't know if we can help. WhatsApp has a hell of a database. Like, they can go back super far, like years and years. But if it won't play, then there's not a whole lot we can do here. Unfortunately, well, okay. WhatsApp has quite the database, but unfortunately, if it won't play back, then there is little we can do. You can try to download it if it still lets you, and try to play it that way. But outside of that, there is little we can do if it can't be resent. Yeah, there's nothing you can do on that. Like WhatsApp has an excellent database. Like, it goes back years. But at the same time, if you try to run that video that was sent, and that video will not show or play, then there's very little you can do except for trying to re-download it. And if you re-download it, you can try to play it that way. And now you have the video, so you can try a few things. But if it won't let you re-download it and it won't play it, it's over. So there's not a whole lot you can do on that. WhatsApp issue. That's our second WhatsApp issue. It's ironic that I know it, but it's just Yeah, it's kind of interesting that we get kind of some WhatsApp issues in here too. I think we just kind of get a nice smorgasbord of issues these days. Okay, cool. Break. All right. So Dread Pie writes, keep an SFFPC together. Huh. Yo, I kind of like this build. So he's showing Chromax like the L9A Chromax AM4, but that's actually a Noctua. But okay, well, Noctua has the L9A4 Chromax, but I'm not sure if they actually own the name Chromax. But that is actually a pretty nice build. SF 750 watt Platinum, by the way. That is the XC3 EVGA 1060. 1060 used to have those little bins like that. It's really small though, so it's like there used to be like a 1070 that did this, but it's still XC3. And then that is a lot of cooling. What kind of processor is that, bro? What are your components? That would help. Yeah. So he has a Ryzen 7 7700X. Okay, that would explain why he has so much cooling. Noctua NHD 15. Of course, it's a Noctua NHD 14. Look at this. Obviously, he's a Noctua, and he has all kinds of fans. And then he was running 32 gigs, 3060 Ti. Okay, XC3. Yeah. And then, of course, that yeah, the 750 watt Platinum is nice. I have that guy. The 750 watt Platinum. Okay, here's what happened, right? So that little build that I had with the Dan Case A4SFX, right? So that's what I'm going to use when I travel because it can fit. I'll show everybody once I get my A7R Mark V when it comes in next week or whenever it comes in. I'll show everybody my setup, my portable setup for when I travel. I can literally put it in my backpack now and have like a portable monitor, my iPad for work, and my iPad can use the portable monitor, and the desktop can use the iPad and the portable monitor. So basically, my desktop gets 2 monitors for the price of 1, right? And I have it all in a backpack, and I can set it up that way. And I'll show everybody how you set it up with the Dan Case A4SFX with a 3090 and a 3900X, and then I'll put the 3900X in eco mode. But the 750 watt Platinum, what's interesting about it is the 850 watt, the white one, is a totally different pinout for the 24 pin. So like if you want like the Dan Case A4SFX, you always want to get a custom sleeve for the 24 pin because you don't want to run cables. You don't want to have a whole lot of cables in that case because it's very, 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 very small. And so I ordered a custom pinout of the 24 pin, and I put it in my 850 watt because I had a 4090 or I had a 3090, but I knew I was going to probably upgrade at the time, so I went ahead and upgraded the power supply. And so I tried to put it in, and it wouldn't even power on. Little did I know that the pins were different between them. So I thought they just destroyed. They gave me just the crappiest product. I was like, oh man, this people are terrible. They gave me the wrong pin out. What is wrong with y'all? I will never work and do business with y'all again, right? So a few months go by, and I ended up having to upgrade my power supply again because I was troubleshooting that stupid Ryzen Precision Boost Overdrive that powers off your computer. I was troubleshooting that, so I upgraded again to a 1000 watt SFX L power supply, and then I was like, okay, let me go ahead and try this 24 pin again. Tried it again, didn't work, and so now, but I came back to putting it into the smaller rig and tried it again. It still didn't work. So now I went online and looked up the pinouts and ended up finding out that what I was doing was freaking stupid. You don't want to take that 24 pin that they made for you and put it in different power supplies. I didn't realize where I come from, a lot of devices all have a standard. So, but I didn't realize not only does it not have a standard when it comes to pinouts on power supplies, they're totally freaking different between models. The 750 watt and the 850 watt have different pinouts altogether. You can't even use the same cables between a 750 Corsair and an 850 Corsair. That is insane. Like all it is that one pinout, it won't even power on. So as soon as I realized that, I grabbed my 750 and it worked with the 750. So now I know that between a 750 and an 850 is a totally different pinout. So if somebody is like, oh, hey, I'm having some cabling issues, I've been using the same cables of my 750 on my 850 because my 850 didn't have cables or something like that, you know, they are not the same at all, not even a little bit for that 24 pin. So yeah, fun story, bro. But yeah, that's what happened with me. But that is still really, really, really pretty. I like his cabling. His cabling is pro. I'm not even sure, like, how would he pack that? It just looks like it'll be, this is the kind of build that worries me a little bit, because I always feel like if I touch it, it would short. So it always worries me, but it's really, really, really pretty. Hey, good job, Dread Pie. That gave me a whole story and content and everything. Had a full story. All right, so yeah. All right, let's go ahead and go to the next one. Okay, this is the one that we already talked about. All right, so we were talking about this guy, I think it was yesterday. He was talking about 100% disk consumption. And he said basically his issue has been bothering him for a while. Whenever I open a game or app or anything, 5 minutes in, it starts to lag or stutter or slow down on its own. And then I open Task Manager and System Processes is taking a huge load of my disk for absolutely no reason. I think I asked him for the information. Oh, check disk. Okay, cool. So I went with check disk and Malwarebytes. I did check this before, nothing came up. I just tried Malwarebytes and it found a few things, but nothing crazy. And then I said, what services are showing to consume the disk? Can you list the top 5 and have it pegged at 100%? The system process on its own. Okay. Can you give us a screenshot of the system processes screen? I'm not even gonna answer that, because I need to see it. I need to see what he's talking about. I need to see what, because generally I'm talking about system processes. Okay. When he says system processes, I wonder if he means the first page of Task Manager, or does he really mean services.msc? Because if he means services.msc, that's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about, okay, well, what kind of services are running, or even the original Task Manager screen. Either one of those are fine. Just sort it by CPU and let me know. Screenshot of the system processes screen. Yeah, I'll just do that so that we can get a better understanding of what he's talking about and just go from there. I mean, I'm not going to add too many sentences to that because he barely gave me a sentence back. So yeah, do permit. This is going to take longer than I wanted to. But I need to see what he's talking about before we can even try to troubleshoot. So like that 100% disk consumption, we already tried Malwarebytes. So if we try Malwarebytes and it's still doing it, we need to take a look at it and see what it is. Fun fact though, if it's showing 100% disk consumption and you were able to get inside your case, if you take it out and then plug it in via USB, I wonder if you still get it. But neither here nor there, because I'm not going to teach him how to take it out of his case and put it in a USB. It's not worth it. I'd rather him reply back, because I don't think he could. It may not be a good idea. It may turn into a can of worms. Alrighty, do permit. Keep us posted, bro. Alrighty, this is from Green Blackberry 524. Green. What 100% disk consumption? Does that mean that they are out of HD space? No. So 100% disk consumption means that the read and write speeds are maxed out, or the read is maxed out. So it doesn't necessarily mean that the drive is full. It just means that the drive is fully utilized. So sometimes there are programs that can fully utilize a hard drive. Typically, you run into it when you are in this line of work, when you're in editing and video editing and stuff like that, and it has to parse the drive, and it's looking and it sees a bunch of gigantic video files and gigantic pictures. You'll see the consumption go up to 100%, even though the actual amount of space that it has is actually a good amount of space. So it just means that it's just consuming the drive's read-write speeds, and it's fully consuming it. Is usually what that means. Now, it can be malware that can do that as well, but generally when you run into it, it's sometimes it's malware, but sometimes it's just one service that is just pegging that drive. But we got to see it. I don't know which one it would be. I just need him to show me exactly what he's talking about, what is 100% utilization, and then we can work it from there. Because typically it may just be one service that's doing it, and then we can look up that one service and see why it's doing it, and then go from there. So it may be a program that he's running, or something that he has, or it can be a service that's messing up, or it could be the drive that's malfunctioning. It could be a lot of different reasons. But yeah, it just means that his consumption is high on the drive because something is pegging it. Green Blackberry, I think, is where we were. Yeah, cool. So, okay. Samsung Galaxy Watch. It's crazy. I have that too. I have a problem. I admit it. Green Blackberry 524 writes, Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 won't show physical live map. My live maps won't show on my Galaxy 4 watch. And now there is no option during navigation to scroll and select show route map. Nothing. I have every location setting turned on. I've uninstalled and reinstalled, deleted the updates, to reinstalled the updates, turned off and on my phone, Galaxy S20 Plus, and watch and nothing. I put in the location, hit start the maps, opens up with typed step-by-step directions and instructions, scroll to the bottom and it shows exit and show preview. That's it. No option to show the actual live map. It was originally working when I bought the watch 5 months ago. Then it just stopped. Any help will be appreciated. Sure. So I would say with this one, what firmware, well, he doesn't know firmware. What software version are you running on the watch? Make sure it is on the most up-to-date version. Next, I think he said he uninstalled and reinstalled it, didn't he? Reinstalled updates, turned off and off my phone. Next, he said live maps, like Google Maps. If it's Google Maps, then it's already an application that's already on the thing, already on the watch. It's not something that he can download. Yeah, I think he's talking about Google Maps. Because that's what you would use on Samsung Galaxy Watch. So I would say with this one, what software version are you running on the watch? Make sure it's on the most up-to-date version. Also, try to unpair, repair the watch and the phone to see if that helps. He's missing the text box entirely to opening up the live map. So if he's missing it entirely, that's typically going to be software related. So we're going to treat it like it's software related by uninstalling the application, removing the link, those kind of things like bugs. So also try to unpair repair the watch. Pair. Okay, there we go. Try to unpair and then repair the watch and see watch and phone to see if that helps. Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go with that. That's solid. There's only so many things you can do because we're talking about a software issue that's a possible bug. So if we're talking about a software issue that's a possible bug because because it's literally not there. So it could also be font, but it's highly unlikely that it's font because it should still show something. So yeah, that's kind of an interesting one. But if also let's add that here. Also, you are referring to Google Maps, correct? I can test this. I can test this if you tell me what version you are running on the watch and phone. Safe. Yeah, I can test that. So yeah, if he lets me know, I'll go hunt down my watch 3. I think I have the 3 and he has the 4. So I think we'll be really close. He has the S20 and I had the Note 10 Plus. So I think we might be able to actually recreate his issue to see if we see the problem as well. Fun issue, Green Blackberry. It just so happens I might be able to help with that. Cool. So this one here is from Support Main. You and me both, bro. Support Main writes, camera help. Oh, a camera issue. I haven't had a camera issue since Best Buy. Hi, I have a farm and I want some wireless cameras for inside and outside my barns, but don't want a subscription plan. Oh. I have tried several cameras and they either don't have the range or are far too finicky. Any ideas would be a large help. They don't have a subscription plan? The range, bro. If you got a full farm, the range you're gonna need, like if you're looking for like wolves and things that can go over your fence, like pigs, like hogs. Oh, hogs. Without a subscription, I'm not so sure there is one that will give him the kind of range that he wants. I was thinking of what's the name of that? Hold on, maybe we can help, but we'll have to look it up. Wireless surveillance cameras for farms. Description is only for cloud storage, right? Yeah. Well, yeah, some of them is for cloud storage, some of them is for maintenance. There are some companies that will sell you surveillance and they will come out and troubleshoot in case something was to go wrong. And they will also install it for you as well and make sure everything is right. So there are a few that will do that. But which one was I thinking of? There was one, I think it was the Revo. Yeah, I think it was the Revo. Yeah. This one. Because I don't think it had a subscription. 2-step phone smart view setup plan with iPhone and Android. Up to 200 feet indoor wireless range. Okay. But 1 terabyte surveillance grade HDD. 2.1 megapixel bullet cameras with 100% night vision. Yeah, this is what I was thinking about. And I think they can go outside as well. Well, obviously they should be able to go outside. But yeah, this is what I was thinking of. It was wireless outdoor 4 camera. Yep, that's what I was thinking of. Like, I don't get a chance to work in surveillance all that often because, well, I didn't whenever I was at Best Buy. But yeah, that's what I would do on this one. I already answered that one. So the one I was thinking about was this. I don't believe it has a subscription, and the range may be good enough depending on the placement of the cameras. Hope that helps. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of, but it's kind of hard, man. I don't know how much acreage we talking. Some people have massive farms, and if you have massive farms, it's gonna be a problem. But yeah, if he has a massive farm, he's just not gonna have enough range with something like this. He may have to actually go with one of those plans where they come out and install the surveillance cameras, because they'll set up in a way where he will have complete visualization of his environment, but they will be the ones monitoring it. So, you know, different ways to go about surveillance. So it's always kind of an interesting one. All right, man. I hope that helps, support main. I always want to help fellow support mains. Oh, somebody else said something. For wireless cameras, you might need to set up a Wi-Fi booster, but that might require you to run an internet cable to your barn. Wireless cameras would generally be an internet-based connection. Otherwise, trail cameras are an option, but I believe those all use a memory stick you have to remove to watch footage. Where the Wi-Fi based, you can access them via the internet. I was giving him a Wi-Fi one that he can access on his phone at any time. Unfortunately, I don't have any recommendations. I can say avoid Fate Electric. I have one and it's poor quality. Okay, yeah, I was the one that I gave him is one that he can see on his phone. So that's what I would say, as long as he keeps it within range. So hopefully he can set up some place that's near his barn. I guess if he's going after barns, then I'm guessing he's looking for wolves. So if he's trying to go wolf hunting to make sure no wolves get to his chickens, then yeah, I would say try to get it as close to the barn as possible. And by close, I mean not the cameras, I mean the router. The one that's actually keeping the signal. It needs to be as close to the barn as humanly possible. But I guess we'll work on that when we get to it, because we'll probably reply to both of those by tomorrow. So, all right, support man, keep us posted. Ooh, break. Hey, I have this case. This is my favorite case. It is beautiful. It is beautiful, 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 beautiful. But it doesn't fit a 4090. Fun fact. This is the how do I forget this case? I literally have it in my living room. How do I forget this case? What is wrong with me? What's it called? Wow, I can't even remember. You can try a filter, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Sliger. This is the Sliger. So the one I have is the SM580. This is the he said a 550 maybe. But yeah, Sliger's really nice. It's a really nice case, but it's kind of bulky. So it does come with a handle on the top, like over here, there's a handle. So you can actually pick it up and carry it with you whenever you go to different places. But it's kind of an all-encompassing deal. There's not a whole lot of carrying cases for it. You have to literally just take it with you. So that's the only downside about using it. Now you can get what's a Pelican 3820, and it can fit in the Pelican case. But now you have a second luggage. So if you wanted to travel with it, it becomes kind of burly. But to be fair, the Sliger SM550, 580, and the Meshalicious both uses the exact same Pelican case. So if you decided to go with the Meshalicious or you decided to go with the Sliger, it would always be the Pelican 3820 because it can fit both. They're around the same size. Now, of course, the Meshalicious actually fit the 4090, whereas the Sliger SM580 couldn't, but it doesn't change the fact that they're around the same size. So yeah, fun stuff. Oh man, I do like talking about SFX small form factor cases, but that's a lot of fan coverage. That's really nice. I think that may be a 280 millimeters, so I think he may have put his radiator over there. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. I used to do this, but now I have a water cooling. I assume it's more than 3 ounces. AIO is supposedly okay. Yeah, I wouldn't want to have to remove AIO and chase down my check bag to put my AIO in there. I only had to transfer my PC once via air, and I just erred on the side of caution and removed the AIO. I carried on the PC. Oh, that's an interesting thing. I never thought about that. I always check it. I never take it with me, but that's interesting. The Asetek, I wonder if they do that. For security always amuses me. I wonder if that's interesting. Okay, so what I'm thinking about, there's an AIO called the Asetek 645 LT, right? It's a 92 millimeter AIO that's used for small form factor cases. And I'm wondering, because remember, you can't have liquids whenever you try to board a plane. Like you can't, like you can have like like the drinks, I think you even have to throw them away. And the water in liquid coolers may be a problem crossing it. So if you went with the 92 millimeter, you can't have it in your backpack. You know, you may have to check it. So that's kind of an interesting thing. I never thought about that because I was going to put the Asetek 645 LT in the Dan case, but one, it sucks going into the Dan case because it's really hard to get it in there. But the second thing is, yeah, you may not be able to fly with it. I never thought about that. That is terrifying. I never like, just to think somebody tells you to take it out in order to go to your trip. Like me to pull out a 645 LT, like that's just too much work. Like, you know what? You can keep the computer. I'm just going home. but yeah, nice build though. All right, that was a nice break. Okay, cool. This isn't one that we've done before. All right, and it got a picture, so that helps. All right, so incorrect RAM speed after upgrade. I just upgraded my RAM on my PC, was at 16 gigs, 4.4 DDR4 2400, and I've been using for the past maybe 6 years or so, and I noticed after installing my new RAM, 64 gigs, 416 gigs of 3600, that the RAM frequency hasn't changed in Task Manager or in BIOS. I tried manually changing the speeds in BIOS, but the option to change the frequency is grayed out for some reason. I can't edit it, and I don't know why. I know it's not a compatibility issue. I checked many times to make sure that my motherboard could support the socket type, memory speed. I know where everybody's thinking, and I'm thinking the same thing. Updating the BIOS. So I don't know what it could be. Task Manager, WMIC, and BIOS all show the correct capacity, but not speed. Motherboard is a Z170A Gaming Pro Carbon. MSI, click BIOS. Corsair Vengeance, RGB, 64 gigs of RAM. Yeah, we know. The XMP enabled. Wasn't enabled before upgrade. Okay, so his XMP profile is enabled. Game Boost enabled was enabled before the upgrade. Yeah, I'm gonna need a picture on this one, homie. I mean, it's 2400 megahertz the max speed that your motherboard supports. MSI Z170A. Max memory speed. 170 carbon. It can do 3600 overclocked, 3200 overclocked. 3000 overclocked. It can do 2400 by and then slash 2133 Intel logo. Yeah. Update BIOS. Yeah. So for this one, I would say to update the BIOS. Also, this is a ATX motherboard, if I remember correctly. I may be wrong. I just want to check. Yes, ATX motherboard. I was thinking of maybe ITX. At the ITX, there could be some restrictions. So for this one, I would say to update the BIOS. Also, what was I gonna say? Also, he looked on the site and he saw it there. Also, can you show a picture of what it shows on the XMP profile in BIOS after the BIOS update? I'm kind of curious what it shows in BIOS, because that really changes a lot. Because if the BIOS is showing 3600 and then he boots up into Windows and it's 2400, now we have something interesting. But at the same time, I would give him the exact same answer: update your BIOS and then see exactly what's happening after that. So it wouldn't change anything. It'll just make the issue more interesting. You know, so yeah, on this one here, I would just say go ahead and update the BIOS and let us know what happens after that. For him to say MSI click BIOS, it seems like he may have already updated it, but he never said it specifically, so I'm going to ask him specifically to see if we can get an answer on that, because that's really how you would troubleshoot that issue. Alrighty, what was his name? Aster, keep us posted. Is this folded meat? It's folded meat. All right, folded meat. Hold on. Let me get ready for you. let me get some water. Oh, here we go, folded meat. Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready, folded meat. Let's do this. Okay. All right, folded meat. It's been a week. We got to figure this out. All right, for everybody at home who doesn't know who folded meat is a person that we've been working on for like a week. And, you know, I and Vec, we've all been looking at this stupid issue for so long, and we've made fun of this man's RAM for a week straight. And we still can't solve his fucking problem. So we've been working on this forever. We've given him multiple options. He's tried multiple things. Other people have given multiple options. They've tried multiple things. And none of us can figure it out, but we're still working on it, and we had some leadway. They are back, exactly. He's back, man. And we go back and forth, and now we can see exactly where he's at now. So I'll just spare everybody the details. And we kind of gone back and forth trying to figure things out. And then he started saying some interesting stuff, right? So he was saying this, right? He said this is COD, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, right? The new one, the Warzone. He said he does not have an issue with frame drops in single player. However, he has the issue in multiplayer. And he has the issue as soon as his reticle hits an enemy, his frame rate drops. And I said, okay, well, if that's the case, then we're really troubleshooting latency, because your graphics card doesn't care. It would have had that problem in single player or multiplayer. So, but he said, I don't have a latency issue. My latency is fine. When my packet rates drop, my latency is okay. And I said, prove it. I call bull. So that's where we left off, right? So let's see what he said. All right, so I said, you never mentioned if you were wired or wireless. Do you have a screenshot of what your latency was when your frames dipped? And essentially record a game with all telemetry turned on, then take a snapshot of when your frame dips and post it to us. Also, what resolution are you running at? He's saying, I'm running the game wirelessly under 1920 by 1080 resolution. Every time my game dips, it fluctuates between 29 to 35 milliseconds. The temps on a GPU is at 60 degrees Celsius in game. There is a possibility that the capping of the frame rates causes an issue, though I need to do more digging into that. 60 degrees Celsius is equivalent to 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, well, no one cares. Okay, so out of curiosity, the problem is probably the game's anti-cheat. No server check in single player, but in multiplayer. Ooh. Okay. 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 If we said that's not the only game that has anti-cheat, he would have had this problem. Well, okay, maybe he really is. Okay, how do we ask without asking? Okay, we'll get to that. So out of curiosity, what happens when you connect directly to your router? Does the frame rate change? I understand if it can't be for very long, but it's worth a test. All right, let's see if we can ask him that. Let me think about this. Okay. Damn, that makes sense too. Because the anti-cheat may not have been on whenever the beta was out. And that's when he said he didn't have a problem when the beta was out. There was a Twitch streamer that basically was playing COD, and his anti-cheat was in the background, and people used to ask him to show his services while he was playing. Maybe we can ask him that instead and see if he can actually give us a reply. Though he never even told us what his frame rates were when we asked for a picture. Also, but we can at least ask. I mean, that's the only way you can do it, unless you want to straight up accuse him of using the anti-cheat or triggering the anti-cheat. Also, while gaming, could you send us a screenshot of the programs that are running? For example, start a little, I have no idea what I'm talking about, but it's just a guess. It's a really good one, because if we think about it, right? So we knew that he had his issue starting whenever he first bought it, but he never had the issue in the beta. Okay, he doesn't have it in single player, but he has it in multiplayer. We've been working the networking issue, because that's the only thing that's different between the single player and the multiplayer, you know. So because we can't really work the graphics issue anymore, because that breaks the rule, right? Graphics card, it would have had a problem in single player, multiplayer, any kind of player, your mom's player, anybody, it doesn't matter. It would have had the same problem because it's the same type of graphics. So but the anti-cheat could be a thing, and that could be triggering whenever he's running some type of an issue and it's slowing him down. So also, while gaming, could you send us a screenshot of the programs that are running? So we're just going to take that and run with it, and we're like, okay, well, send us a screenshot of the programs that are running in the background. For example, start a windowed game and go to Task Manager and take a picture while the game is in multiplayer. Okay, I get that he has to target an enemy in order to trigger something, but I think you can do like a training mode with bots or something, and that may trigger it. Well, I don't think that would. I think he actually has to play a game. I don't know how he's going to do that. Oh, maybe he can. Maybe he can just put it in window mode and then put it right next to it and just record the screen. Okay, for example, start a window game, go to Task Manager and take a picture while the game is in multiplayer. Game is windowed in multiplayer. You would have to record the screen first, since the issue triggers when targeting an enemy. Let me know if you have questions. Let's see if he's gonna go with that and put in that work. I doubt he is. But that's a good option. There's no way someone would do all this. True. But what else can I say? Be like, hey, Do you by chance cheat? Are you actually trying to get over on the game and that's the reason why it's slowing you down and now you want us to help you trying to fix an issue when really the problem is you? Like, what am I supposed to say? Like, you know, the only thing, it's like doctors and you have to work on patients that you don't like. Be like, I realize that you just murdered 4 people, but I have to heal you. You see what I'm saying? It's the exact same thing. And it's like, okay, you may be doing something malicious, but I have to help because that's what I'm doing. My job is to help people. So it's like, okay, well, I may not like what I'm doing, but I have to ask. And I have to ask nicely because my goal is to help people. So it's like, But yeah, if he may be doing something malicious, but yeah. Amuse me. Amuse me. He's talked to everybody else and he's given a whole lot of information. So maybe he's willing to try it. But yeah, he probably won't. But I mean, it's folded meat. We'll probably hear from him tomorrow anyway. He'll be a reoccurring issue for the next month. Unless I need this game to make a living, I just uninstall. Exactly. At some point, he'll give up. But yeah, man, I'm starting to run out of ideas too. Cause we tried just about everything. So I mean, it's whatever the issue ends up being, it's going to be something that's out there. So all out there ideas are welcomed here. I think everybody else is kind of giving up on it too. Like his conversation with all these other people are just gone. Like some of these other ones, like he's like, I have it on Steam. He has it on Steam, not Battle.net. I don't think it'll make a difference. I was thinking that maybe Steam may be doing something. Wait, how long has he had this game? What's today? Oh no, it came out in November. I was gonna say that maybe he can return it to Steam, but I think he's worked with us in the time that he's had this issue. So 19 days ago, I think he may be outside of his warranty. I think is it 14 days with Steam? It's either 14 or 30, or they may be doing it based on game time. Also, you may be able to return it. No, I'm not going to say that. Because if I say that, then that's the only thing he's going to answer. I want him to at least try to answer this question. So, Folded Meat, we'll just see you tomorrow, bro. We're stretched thin here. So, we'll see you tomorrow. We'll talk about it later. Oh, man. Us and Folded Meat, man. I think he's going to be like a recurring thing for at least another 3 months. All right, so this is another one where we worked. RDAF CMO 375i writes, my Windows 10 computer makes a disconnect and then reconnect sound repeatedly when my TV is connected with HDMI as the second monitor is on standby. Oh, I remember this one. I'm not quite, because I couldn't understand what you were saying. I'm not quite sure I understand the question. Your TV disconnects and reconnects when the TV is off. But how is it reconnecting if the TV isn't powered on? Are you saying that it turns itself on when it detects a signal? Can you upload a video of what you're referring to? When the TV is on, there is no problem. When I turn off the TV, Windows makes the disconnect sound followed by a connect sound right after. And this repeats itself after roughly 10 seconds, but the TV remains off until I turn it back on myself. Just a moment ago, I got a hold of a different HDMI cable and the fault seems to have gone away. I'd be lying if I said I understood it, but regardless, the cable seems to have been the issue. I can't. Oh. This is the reason why, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hit my mic. Because remember, like up here, he's like, just to recap, this is what I did. Different HDMI ports in both ends. Like he said, like I thought he meant that he tried different cables. I tried switching HDMI ports on both TV and my computer and updating my graphics driver. So I thought that he meant that he changed out the cable and he was like, oh no, I changed out the cable and I fixed the issue. Okay. Whatever, bro. Glad it worked out. Yeah, glad it worked out. I don't know what to tell you, bro. Because I thought, whatever. I'm not. I'll take side victories. I'll take second place trophies. Like I'm okay with that. You can have the W, bro. Like I'm okay taking this second place, this participation trophy. Why you take the? It's okay. It's whatever. I didn't know what you were talking about in the beginning, but whatever. It don't matter. Okay, I'm glad you got your issue fixed, RDAF. Okay, let's go to another one here. How many we got? One. We've made some progress. Yeah, I think mixing in other Reddit posts is actually helping really well because it keeps me away from having to play like video games and stuff in order to keep myself unengaged and then re-engaged. But I don't know how many more I got left. I thought I didn't think I would be able to go through 30, but I think we are going to go through 30. So we'll see how it goes. I'll probably go like a few more, and then if I see myself getting to the end, I may add some more or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out when I get there. All right. So this is from 80 Downtown 1235, and they write, "My monitor randomly goes black with my new GPU." Okay, so I just got a new GPU for my PC, an RTX 3050. I plugged everything in fine and no cables are loose. When I turn on my PC on, everything is when I turn my PC on, everything is working, but randomly, sometimes instantly, and sometimes it takes 5 to 10 minutes. My monitor goes black and I get the text that says cable not connected. The fans of my GPU are still on and everything looks fine inside the PC. I tried using a different cable. I tried deleting the driver of my old GPU, a GTX 1050 Ti, and re-downloading the driver for my new GPU. I have an EVGA 700 Gold power supply, so that shouldn't be a problem. I don't know what your CPU is. How can I answer that question? I tried putting my power cable directly in the wall. Yeah. None of these things worked so far, but if I put my old GPU back in the PC, then everything works fine again. So is this means that I have to order a new GPU, or am I doing something wrong? If you have some ideas, please share them with me. Return it. Are you outside the window of returning this graphics card? Out of curiosity. Like, okay, like you can start going into your troubleshooting, but I like to troubleshoot once I have like a full load in my gun. Like if I know everything, all my options, you see what I'm saying? Because you may run into a situation where just returning it is a better option than trying to troubleshoot it. So that's the reason why I'm asking that first. So with this one here, I mean, you have a 700 Go, what is that? 86% efficiency, somewhere in that area. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I mean, it's a 1050 Ti. I mean, unless your CPU is hitting 400 watts, I doubt it. And I doubt you'd have something like that if you have a 1050 Ti. So yeah, I mean, I don't think it's your power supply or anything like that. I just think you tried a different cable. You didn't say if you tried a different input. Have you tried a different input on the graphics card as well as the monitor? Okay, we know it's not the cable, and we know technically it's not the monitor, but in order to get it working, I would like to try another input on the GPU, on the graphics card as well as the monitor. Yeah, I'll just leave it like that. Are you outside the window returning? Have you tried a different input on the graphics card as well as the monitor? Yeah, I would try with that. I get that him putting the 1050 Ti in there and it working means that it's probably not cable or monitor. I get that. But if his monitor has multiple inputs, I would say at least try them. Because if you're outside of the window of your warranty, as far as returning it and getting your full money back, then this would be a valid option. Because like if he has display on the monitor and the display works but HDMI doesn't, we'll just use display and you're fine. Unless I need this game to make, oh, okay, I already read that part. So yeah, so that's what I would say to this. I would say, you know, it's okay to try a different input on the monitor to see if that works, even if it means trying with an adapter. But I wouldn't recommend an adapter to this person here, not just yet, because I don't really want them to spend money unless I'm 100% sure. But yeah, we just need some more information on this one. So 80 Downtown 1235, I am sure I will see you tomorrow. Ooh, it's small. Okay, the ridge. Okay, so here's my thing with the ridge. It's fat. I don't like fat cases. It looks fat, and I don't like this again. This is where's it at? This is the Century all over again. So like if we look at the Century 2.0, right? Sentry 2.0. I loved this case. The problem with this case is that it's freaking heavy. It's made out of it's solid metal, and then it only had that button, but it was really great because you can actually have an AIO in there if you had a short form factor card. But if you had a 1080 Ti, it would fit. If you have a 7900 XTX, it'll fit. It'll fit darn near any graphics card that's 2.2. It won't fit like 3070 Ti's, EVGA super clocks. It won't fit those, but it'll fit like a XTX. It'll fit the 1080 Ti. Obviously, it fits the XT3, the 3090. But it's super heavy, super heavy. You don't realize how heavy it is until you actually try to start moving around with it and traveling with it. You would put this gigantic. So like, okay, in the next stream or whatever, I'll show you all the different backpacks I have for the ITXs they belong to. This guy's backpack that I have has a slot specifically for him, and then a second slot for the monitor. And it's a backpack though, so it's super heavy because this guy is heavy, and it's so heavy. And the ridge is just to cut off the same block. So if you look at the ridge, which is okay, there we go. The ridge is the exact same way. It's a metal construction, and then on top of that, it has the perforated holes, but it's not over the entire case, which means that heat is going to have problems escaping. I realize that it does have fans, especially fans over the graphics card, but that can actually create some turbulence. So I mean, it's okay. I'm not crazy about the ridge, but you know, it is a thing. Finally, an alternative to the Dr. Zaber Sentry. Yeah, this is exactly what we're talking about. So the Sentry, that 2-slider, man, I would still go with the Sentry over the Ridge, but the Sentry can't be bought anymore, so it is what it is. You would probably be better off going with this guy because you're not going to find the Sentry anymore, but it is a great alternative, though. It's just, it's a little fat, man. I don't like cases that are also fat. Let me hear it. I got to hear this for science. Can y'all hear this? Oh, no, y'all can't. Let me switch to chat. Yeah, see, you could actually put those fans over the graphics card. So you have 2 fans literally on front of the graphics card, and then you have the graphics card right there. But it can support up to a 3-slot graphics card, which is something that's pretty interesting. Now, putting that flat is probably not the best idea in the world, but it is a kind of a sleek design. I never did that, by the way. I've never put it flat, my Sentry, that this is based off of. Because if you did, you'd suffocate your CPU. It'd be insane. I mean, it's nice, you know, and it's nice that you can put a 3-slot GPU in it. But at the same time, you know, I'm kind of over this style of case, because it's really hard to try to find a bag that it can fit in. You know, you could try to put it in like luggages and stuff like that, but I'm kind of over it. I've had enough with the Sentry. Even though I love the Sentry a whole lot, it was so doggone heavy. When your case is 10 pounds with nothing in it, it's too heavy. So yeah, me and the Sentry, man, and we've had our days, but I've had the Sentry. That was one of my favorite ITX cases. It was one of my first ones that I actually built in. But yeah, I may get a Ridge one day, but I don't know how I feel about it. It's just, I don't know. I just don't like big cases. I like them as small as humanly possible and portable and light. I cannot deal with super heavy cases. Okay, Edgemaster Lord or Edgemaster D or whatever says he has mouse problems. Oh, this was the one. Oh, no. Okay. Good evening. I recently having a problem with my laptop after a niece of mine played with it. Oh, yeah. This was the one we were talking about because it works fine in safe mode. We were like, how the hell did you get to safe mode? Okay. All right. This guy again. Let me get ready. It's hard to say. I would start by going to Device Manager and seeing if the keyboard and mouse show up there. If they do, then make sure they are up to date and do not have an error on them. If you don't have a keyboard, then just check the drivers from Device Manager in safe mode, LOL. Okay, so basically this guy is saying he's having mouse problems and keyboard problems ever since his niece broke it. but he said that everything works fine in safe mode. But we were like, okay, if it's Windows 10 or 11, how the hell did you get to safe mode? You know how hard it is to get to safe mode in Windows 10 and 11? You have to go to start, you have to go to advanced options, you have to start the computer in advanced options, but you can't get there because you don't have a keyboard or mouse. So we were like, okay, I was assuming that you had a spare keyboard and mouse. And that's the reason why I was telling you to go to safe mode or go to device manager. And he says, okay, when I turn on the laptop, everything works fine for like 1 minute till everything loads. When it's done initiating, the mouse and keyboard doesn't work anymore. When I press the power button to hibernate and later restart it, everything works till all loads and then it doesn't work anymore. When I start in safe mode, everything works fine. The problem is in normal mode. I think there is a problem with the drivers. It wouldn't work in safe mode either, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, I didn't mean to click on that. Yeah. Oh, it's red. Oh, snap. I can get red? There we go. Oh, it's super small. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it sounds like a driver issue. But, I mean, it's a fucking keyboard and mouse. Like, okay, unless we're talking about Razer, but we're not because it's a laptop, right? Yeah, it's a laptop. So we're not really talking about a Razer. Okay. Unless we're talking about he has a blade. Yeah, it sounds like a driver issue. Because those are the only ones that I really know of that just has like their own software. Well, okay, it may be Alienware. But what kind of keyboard and mouse is this? Oh, actually, you know what? Actually, yeah, that's fine. What kind of laptop and mouse is this? Also, do you have a spare mouse in your house we can use to get to device manager? Let's just ask him directly. I mean, that's kind of the only way we can kind of go about it. We need him to get to device manager because that will let us know all we need to know. Because we go to device manager and we see the keyboard and mouse is like with an exclamation point saying I hate you, then yeah, that's where gonna be our problem is. But you know, it's really like of all the peripherals, like keyboard and mouse, it is really hard to make those not work in Windows. Like you gotta do something bad to make that not work. Because yeah, the drivers, you can say driver software can bloat it, but it's not gonna make it so the keyboard and mouse just completely don't work. Like that's just so weird. But you know, whatever. I've seen weirder, I guess. Okay, Edge Master D, keep us posted. That's kind of a interesting one, kinda. It's not really all that interesting, I'm gonna be honest. Because we're talking about mouse and keyboard and the fact that it works in Windows. Okay, I guess it's kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting because I can't think of what will cause, even driver, I still wouldn't believe it. Unless we were talking about like Razer or Synapse or something like that. But I don't think we would be doing that because it's a laptop. If it was a desktop, it would make more sense. It'll be a little bit more weird, but you know, we'll see. You know what? Also, you never mentioned whether you had a separate mouse or if you're using the trackpad. Anthony, you noob. You should have known that. Damn. How long did it take me to figure that out? 2-3 days? That's kind of bad. That's actually pretty sloppy. Yeah. He never mentioned if he was using a trackpad. Edit. D. The reason why this is interesting is because, okay, well, if he's using a separate mouse, okay, well, what kind of mouse is it? Have you tried different ports? Is it Bluetooth? Is it wireless? If it's wireless, try Bluetooth. If it's Bluetooth, try wireless. Is the batteries in? Is it plugged in? What happens if you plug it into a different computer? What happens if you try to hook it up to something else? Does it work? So he just said mouse. He didn't say trackpad. So now I'm wondering, okay, well, is he talking about just the keyboard and trackpad on the laptop, or does he really have a second mouse, or has an external mouse? I don't think he does, because he explained the issue that it doesn't work. So I'm thinking he's talking about the trackpad, but it doesn't hurt to ask. So in this case here, let's ask just to make sure. we got a good idea of the issue, but yeah, it's still going to be that top part there that it sounds more like a driver issue, but it really doesn't even sound like a driver issue. It just sounds like an issue. It just sounds like a really weird issue. But he may end up having to get a little cheap $5 mouse in order to troubleshoot it, though, because he has to get into Device Manager. Without that, he's going to be stuck in the water for a while. But we'll talk to Edge Master D tomorrow and see where we're at. Alrighty, who's next? Okay. Mashed potato. Okay, cool. So this is a MacBook Air one. I don't think I have an offer when it comes to MacBooks. I think we've done okay, which is understandable because MacBooks are like that, man. It's really hard to fix MacBook issues. You know, there's only so much you can do. You know, and then, you know, you try a few things to see if that works. So you try system preferences, you look at top, and then you start going to Linux commands and you look for errors and log files and stuff like that. But you kind of get really into it at that point. At that point, you're really kind of troubleshooting and you're kind of going outside your breath on that. So MacBook Airs are kind of interesting. So see post with video. I tried everything. Second time I've had a MacBook die on me. So this is the one where we went back over and we listened to the audio and we saw that it wasn't okay. So he has a reply back. Okay. So for those of you who don't know what this issue is, so we all looked at this problem, and when we first looked at it, we didn't think much of it, right? We just thought, okay, it's just a black screen, right? So when he has play, if you look on the left here, you will see that the plug is plugged in because it's lit up, right? You see that orange glow? It's plugged in, and when it hits power, nothing happens. It doesn't show anything. That's what we all thought, okay? But when we came back to it, if you listen, you actually hear the Apple logo in the background. That's his problem, is that it's actually, the Apple logo is in the background. It's actually loading. It's just that he can't see the screen, which means that his screen is just dead. That's his only problem. But we didn't know that at the time because we weren't listening to the music or listening to the audio. But if we had listened to the audio, we would have figured it out immediately. But that's on me. That's not on everybody else. That was just straight on me. I just didn't listen to it. But once we listened to it, we realized what was happening. So with that one there, you know, we kind of let them know that, hey, we went back over here and listened to it, and we realized that, hey, your issue is that you need a second monitor plugged in, because I know people who don't have a monitor on their MacBooks, and they let that bad boy run for years and years and years and years and years and don't even think much of it. So you don't necessarily need your monitor in order for it to actually run properly. But yeah, his monitor is out. I think that really is his issue. So I really wish he replies so we can give ourselves a W, because I feel like we need a W. We need at least one win on Macs in like a week. So if I can get a W on a Mac issue, then that would make me feel better. So Mashed Potato, can you please reply? We should have said something like way back in, but you know, it is what it is. Okay, so Mashed Potato. Okay, so he replied to this. Okay, cool. So I'm not even. Ooh. Oh yeah. Okay. Let's go over this one. He has 3 monitors. No signal is his issue. 1 and 3 makes 2 no signal. 2 and 3 makes 1 no signal. 1 is 4K 120 hertz. Okay, he has a 4090. Okay. Oh, Roblox. Hi, how y'all doing? Man, we've gone over some issues of some crazy stuff that we worked. Fucking folded meat. So I'm so annoyed with him. I'm cussing him out in my head. But folded meat, we started dealing with him again and asking him questions. And yeah, we're still working it. I don't know. Folded meat is gonna be one of those repeat offenders. But yeah, Beck had an idea that maybe he was doing some kind of hacking that would explain why he's slowing down, and maybe it's not activated in single player because there's no need to activate it, and maybe when he was in beta, when it was working, that maybe it wasn't activated, which all makes sense. So we kind of tried to ask him about that without asking about that, but I doubt he's going to reply, but at least is a good idea. So yeah, and now we get back on this one here. So this guy here, 1 and 3 works, 2 no work. 2 and 3 works, 1 no work. So that's kind of where we were with this one here. And I was like, question, if you set your 4K monitor to 60 hertz, does this fix the issue? Can you add the 3rd monitor at that point? And no, I haven't. I'm planning on it this weekend. So y'all see me every day. So don't quote me on it, but I'm gonna try this weekend because I get a little bit more time on Saturdays and Sundays than I do during the weekday. So I'll try it this weekend. If you set your 4K monitor to 60 hertz, does this fix the issue? Can you add the third monitor? Second question, if you remove your GPU and use the 7950X, can you add all three monitors? This was pro as hell. So because he has a 7950X, he has integrated graphics, and every single motherboard for the 7950X has at least 3 inputs, all of them. Even the ITX one, like if you look on the back of my little ITX one, it has like freaking 8 inputs. Like it's crazy. It has like display, HDMI, or display. They all have a ton of inputs. So yeah. So yeah, he said, thanks for the suggestion. Setting one monitor to 60 hertz did not change anything, unfortunately. Okay. My motherboard only has one HDMI and one display slot, but do have USB-C. I would probably need to get a splitter or something to try adding all three up to the internal GPU of the 7950X. Yup, but it's a good test, as it would prove all the other components are fine and you're just dealing with a GPU issue. I don't have this issue. So yeah, but of course I have the Gigabyte, he has a Tough, but I mean they're both 4090s. So yeah, I think that he may really have an issue with his GPU. He may have to go with the warranty on this one if we don't get it going. And because 1 and 3 work with 2 dying and 2 and 3 work with 1 dying, that means that his issue isn't really cable related. Because he can get it to work if he moves around and tries different ones. So I don't think that's I don't think that's going to be the issue. And also him taking it down to 60 also didn't fix it. So that's not the issue either. And we were talking about this last time, I have 2K 240, 4K 60, 4K 60. He has 4K 120, 4K 60, and 1080p. That's the exact same thing. So with this one here, we are pretty equivalent, but he still has his issues. So I think he really just has a straight up graphics issue. Did I actually talk about drivers with him? No, and it's just us talking. So also, fine, you're just dealing with a GPU issue. Also, could you try updating to the latest GPU and BIOS? Simply because it's a... Oh, shit. Anthony, why? How did you forget that? How did you forget that? I know his issue. Damn. Dang. Yo, so the 7950X actually has integrated graphics, and the integrated graphics actually are already installed. Disable integrated graphics. If you disable the... I can show y'all. Can I show y'all? Maybe I can't. But on 7950Xs, what's crazy is if you go in Device Manager, it'll actually be installed right next to the 4090. So it'll be like the 4090, and directly above it, it'll be the integrated graphics of the 7950X. Like it's literally a driver. So yeah, disable it. If you disable the Radeon's driver, does this resolve the issue? You do this by going to Device Manager. Oh shit, that's not right. By going to Start. Can't write. Start Device Manager. Search for it. Then display adapter. You will see the Radeon's driver right above the 4090. Disable it and reboot the PC. Now, if this doesn't work, and we decide to bypass and test, you will need to re-enable it first. So keep that in mind. Dang, Ant. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That probably was a loud spike in y'all ears. I'm so sorry. I hit it by mistake. But yeah, that was stupid. I should have known that. I should have known that. I had the same problem. Well, I didn't have the same problem when it came to inputs. That was one of the troubleshooting things that I did when it was powering itself off. I was thinking that the reason why I was powering itself off was because it was a Radeon graphics plus a 4090s graphics, and they were clashing. And I was thinking that they were clashing with the inputs, and that was causing it to go off, because it would always go off when I'm doing something. So, yeah. So in this case here, his issue may be similar to mine, but it's manifesting in a different way. Whereas his issue right now is that he can't hook up a third monitor. And the reason why he may not be able to hook up a third monitor is because his AMD graphics card from his Ryzen 7950X may be getting in the way. And I've never, I'm trying to remember if I've ever seen that in other integrated GPUs. Like, I don't think so. Like, if they did, they were like Intel. But Intel doesn't really interfere with NVIDIA like that. But the Radeon, the 7950X, oh yeah, it interferes big time. So yeah, that's a good thing. I wish that was the first thing I said, but that's not so bad. 22 hours isn't bad. It's sloppy, but it's not bad. Because the questions that I asked them were actually really good, so I can't get mad at myself. Like, if you remove GPU and just use a 7950X, can you add all 3 monitors? That is a pro troubleshooting tech or tip. So even though this is stronger, I can't get mad. It was only 22 hours. It's not as bad as that other one where we didn't hear the sound and we were mad for like 4 days. It's not that bad. But yeah, with this one here, I think his Radeon from the 7950X is interfering. Fun issue though. Fixed factor. I think we're making some headroom on this one, bro. Let us know. All right. Ooh. Okay. A cat. What kind of case is that? It looks like he actually added to it. Like, he removed the top of it and added to it. It's that's interesting. But yes, his cat is bigger than his case. What's the point of an SFF PC if the cat takes up all the space anyway? I don't know. But here's one thing that I never liked about cat dander. 1, I'm allergic. But 2, I always felt that the cat hair will get into the PC fan blades and mess up your system. Because like there used to be times like, okay, so I used to work with radiologists, right? And I used to fix their computers and troubleshoot them and help them with their software. So I'm very adept to the technical world, right? Or the medical world. So I used to deal with these radiologists, right? And there was this one radiologist, right? He used to always call me because he had issues with his PC, and his PC was overheating. So basically, in order for them to do oh my God, I can't even say it. In order for them to do dictations, that's very, very hard to say. You have to have the specific monitor, and they all had these, back at the time, it was some FirePro cards, right? So either it was a Quadro 4000 or it was a FirePro card, or a Quadro 6000, depending on who the radiologist was. And what would happen is it would overheat and power off. And so every time I would go over there, I would try to troubleshoot this issue, trying to figure out what was going on. And like maybe a week into it, I was like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and open this up. Man, I opened that dude's case up. It was nothing but cat hair. Why is a cat hair in a radiologist's office? So it was just, yeah, it was, I don't know how a cat got in there, but that's what it was. It was just a bunch of hair and dander. And I'm not sure if it was human hair or cat hair, but I was allergic, so it was over. So, so I opened it up, caught a whiff, and I was pretty much a baby. Like, if you ever want to defeat me, like, I'm a huge dude, but if you ever want to defeat me, just send me next to a lawn. I'll be dead in like 20 seconds. I'll have snot and crying and tears. Like, a fresh cut lawn will destroy me. Like biological warfare, there's no need. Just send me next to a fresh cut lawn or a cat or a dog or dander. Oh man, it's over. And yeah, as soon as I opened up that case and I started seeing all that dander, I was like, man, what the heck happened to your case? Like, this is a doctor's office. I think he may be bringing his family over on the weekends, but I mean, I'm not about to ask him. He's the radiologist. I mean, that's his office. He can do whatever he wants, but it was kind of an interesting one. So yeah, that happens a lot. And yeah, cats near cases, man, it destroys cases, man. It really just messes up fans. It gets everywhere. But yeah, small form factor PC case. Bringing up old times. What time is it? 9:11? Oh, wow, we actually did really good. And we only have 2 left. And so that means we're going to finish around 9:30. Let me grab a couple then. Ooh, did I already look this up? No, I did not. That's going to be towards the beginning. So we'll come back around. Computer randomly shutting down and starting up by itself. With 2 people already helping, I'll still help. Ooh, 0. Bluetooth. I haven't done... Oh my God, when's the last time we did a Bluetooth? I haven't done a Bluetooth in years. Let's do it. All right, so that should be enough. All right, so this is from... Ooh. Boy, this man... This is what I like. When you ask a paragraph and they give you 2, that's my kind of helper right here. The videos that I make to see how to play. Okay, Roblox, I'll take a look at it whenever I get a chance. I'm probably gonna fall asleep tonight, but I'll take a look at it over the weekend. I don't want you cussing me out on the next stream. Be like, fool, I told you to play Roblox. Why aren't you playing Roblox? Like, I'll take a look at it this Saturday. I think I got a little bit of time to do so. I gotta make some videos too, and then I also gotta do that damn Rick and Morty. I think I'm on episode 6, so I got a few things I need to do over the weekends, but that's gonna be in my top list of things to do. Alrighty, this is from nobody because I don't remember what it was. New setup stuck in boot loop. DRAM LED glowing orange. Oh yeah. Alrighty, so we looked at this, right? So he had a video. So on the video, we were looking at his orange light, and his orange light, it blinked, and then it literally blinked orange on a second LED, and we automatically knew that was a code, right? So it was telling us something at that point. So we're like, okay, so yeah, that's going to be a code on the motherboard. If you notice, the glowing orange goes back and forth between 2 different LEDs, but both are orange. I would say check the manual for errors, but yes, you do have gear to test. Turn off the PC and try with one dim stick and see if that boots, then test with the other. All right, so he said, hey, first of all, thank you for your reply. Is it just me talking? Yes, just me talking. In fact, I forgot to mention that I tested every possible RAM configuration, every slot, 1 or 2 dim sticks. When booting, the CPU LED flashes once, might be standard procedure, probably. Then the DRAM LED glows orange until the system automatically restarts after about 20 seconds and the cycle begins anew. Here's what the manual says about the status LEDs. Status LEDs, the status LEDs show whether your CPU, memory, graphics card, and operating systems are working properly after system power on. If the CPU, DRAM, BGA LED is on, that means the corresponding devices is not working normally. If the boot LED is on, that means you haven't entered the operating system yet. Unfortunately, these are the only information provided in the manual regarding the error codes. I am clueless and could only suppose my scratch motherboard to be the cause of the error. Thanks again for your fast reply. The RAM is in gigabytes list of compatible DIMMs for the Z790AXX. I wonder if he's reset BIOS. Because I can't remember his issue. Yeah, I can't remember his issue. I don't know how it goes away, but could you try to reset the BIOS to default and see if that resolves the issue? I don't remember what motherboard you have, but you should be able to reset the BIOS from the back or by shorting pins on the motherboard itself. Don't want to say anything else to that? Thanks for the reply. In fact, I forgot to mention, yeah, RAM. He tried every single DIMM slot. We know that the orange light switched between 2 different LEDs, but we don't really know what the code is. and his manual is not helpful. So what we can say is to reset BIOS. He has a scratch on his motherboard, but we saw that scratch, and it was only like a light scratch on the side of the motherboard, and it wasn't on any of the peripherals. So it wasn't on anything that was like so damaging. Like it was just, it almost like there's like a little plastic gloss on motherboards. It barely even scratched that. It really was very, very tiny. I really don't think that's the problem. I don't remember what motherboard you have, but you should be able to reset the BIOS from the back or by shorting pins on the motherboard itself. I don't know if there's anything else we can say to him. He said it reboots. Yeah, I think we'll just go with that. That's a fair point to reset the BIOS. I don't think I'll be mad at myself. I don't think we're missing anything because there's not so much you can do. He's boot looped, so he can't go very far. If he's only 20 seconds in, he barely gets to the screen where he gets the Windows logo before it kills him. I don't even think he gets there. It dies before he even gets there. So the only thing he can really do is BIOS, maybe safe mode with networking prompt, but he's not going to get much further than that. I don't even think he can do safe mode. I think he'll die before safe mode, so that eliminates that. So really all he has is BIOS. So, and he's boot looped. Yeah, he can restore default configurations, but that's going to be the exact same thing. So yeah, reset BIOS. That's really the only real options he has left. Now, if you want to still keep talking about that scratch, then yeah, but I just don't think that scratch was deep enough to cause any damage. I really don't. I think that that you may just need to reset the BIOS and see if that fixes it. So, I don't remember your name because it doesn't show it anymore. Oh, Slowpoke. Yeah. Slowpoke with the weed thing. Yeah. Just let us know how that works, bro. But I do appreciate the gigantic paragraph. It beats the one sentence that we be getting. The disrespect. Okay, so Wi-Fi issue. Okay, so this is from Black Rose 13. I like the name. Networking. Okay, cool. Let's do it. So Black Rose writes, internet connection over Wi-Fi frequently stops across multiple devices. Hello, tech support. Hey, you know my channel. I know I've been beating my head against this problem for a while now, and my patience has run out. Very frequently, devices connected to my Wi-Fi will suddenly lose all internet access. That happens. They will remain connected to the network, but the connection won't provide internet access. Yeah, they lost internet connectivity with the Wi-Fi router. Manually disconnecting the device from the network and reconnecting it usually seems to rectify the situation until it happens again. But it's so frequent and seemingly random that it's driving me crazy. Some background information happens to mobile devices and my PC. Windows 10 brand new TP-Link TX3000E happens regardless of proximity to the gateway. Okay. Service provider is Fidium Consolidated Communications and uses their leading edge Wi-Fi 6 gateway. Internet speed is very good when it's working. That's all I can think of right now, but feel free to ask me anything. He's screwed. You're screwed. The reason, I'll explain it to y'all before I explain it to him. Only reason why he's screwed is because this is not his router. This is the internet service provider's router. He can't update this. He can't do anything to it. Even if he tried, it'll reboot and then come back up with the settings of the internet service provider. He can't touch it. So you can't be like, oh, hey, why don't you just update the driver settings? It won't work here. Dude, when did you start streaming tech support? Now, daily. I think we did. We started. I don't know. I would probably know. We started like maybe 2 weeks ago, and yeah. But we've done it. Like I've done it off and on for like 6 months, just trying to get a feel for it. But we've started to really have strides in helping people and doing this. Once I started to do it daily, then it started to get interesting. And yeah, now we've been doing it daily for a while now. It's been about 2 weeks now that we've been off and on. So yeah. Yeah, most of the people in here probably know longer than I do, but yeah, I've lost track. We literally have done this every day. But yeah, so whenever you have like an internet service provider's router, what'll happen is you can go in, like sometimes they'll let you change the settings like passwords and stuff like that, but what'll end up happening is once it reboots, it goes back to normal, so you can't touch it. That's why he's screwed. So it means that he's probably gonna have to put in some money to fix this. So the reason is because more than likely you can't touch that router. If you tried to update it, or if you tried to update it, it would most likely go back to default upon reboot. You can ask the ISP for a different router if you are leasing it, but if you own it outright, you may not be able to. So more than likely, the fix will be to bypass it by connecting the router. He has an all-in-one box. Their leading edge Wi-Fi 6 gateway. I wonder if it's an all-in-one. More than likely, the fix will be to bypass it and purchase a router of your own. I want to say that you're screwed. The reason is because more than likely you can't touch that router. If you try to update it, it will most likely go back to its default upon reboot. You can ask the ISP for a different router if you are leasing it, but if you own it outright, you may not be able to. So more than likely the fix will be to bypass it and purchase a router of your own. And by bypassing it, I mean, what's it called? Think, boy, think. It's called, oh crap. Set router to transparent. Bridge. It's transparent, but really it's bridge mode. Bridge mode. Bypass it. Bridge mode. All right, for those of you at home who don't know what bridge mode is. So, okay. So the modem router, okay, that comes with internet service providers, they have several different ones. So I don't know which company this is, so they may have their own thing, but 9 times out of 10 it's usually like a modem router combo, right? So it kind of gives you Wi-Fi plus is also the modem. So typically with routers, you have in a wireless AP mode. In other words, your router acts as the default gateway, as well as it handles the translation of your public IP address into private IP addresses and vice versa. So that's how you can get out to the internet. However, most routers, or all routers, have what's called bridge mode. What bridge mode does is it passes the public IP address on to you, which means that now you can go purchase a router somewhere and hook up your modem router from the internet service provider directly into the router you purchased. And now that router has the public IP address and it's the one that's handling your translations. So that's what bridge mode means. So you may have the ability to do that and put it in bridge mode, or maybe your internet service provider can help you put it in bridge mode. And they may be able to do it for you. So that's what I would say that they may have to do. But either way, he may end up having to spend some money to get this working if his internet service provider, because either way he's looking at it, it's going to end up being some money. So like, for example, if he asks them to replace the router and he's not leasing it and they replace it for him, they're probably going to charge him a trip charge. Or if he goes and purchases his own router, it's because he's going to pay for his own router. So some way, somehow, he may come out of some money. But those are really his options. Yeah, those are really his options. And that's the truth when it comes to cable companies. When it's their router, it really kind of limits them. Like sometimes they can be like, hey, yeah, we'll come out, but it's a trip charge. And the reason why it's a trip charge is because we see absolutely nothing wrong. And they're not lying. Wired works. We see nothing wrong. They can't see Wi-Fi. They can't see Wi-Fi and signal connectivity. They may say there may be something in your house that's causing that. You see what I'm saying? It could be that you have metal in your house. We don't know. But you can't blame that on the internet service provider. You make us come out there on a modem router that you purchased from us, we're going to charge you. See what I'm saying? So they have a point, but, you know, if I had to choose between a $45 trip charge or a $100 router and them putting in bridge mode, I choose the $100 router because at least it's mine at that point. And I know that I fixed the issue. Them coming out with another router may not fix this issue because the Wi-Fi router modem combo that they have simply may not have enough range for his house. You don't know how big his house is. So I think that the better option is to go with the router, even though it's the most expensive option, because at least then you know it fixes it. If we can get it in bridge mode, that is. So yeah, that's my whole spiel about internet and Wi-Fi and cable. By the time I'm done, everybody here is gonna be like, cable support. You don't even have to teach me, bro. I've been watching this channel, and now for some reason I'm an expert at cable support. I can handle any cable issue. I can handle internet. I can set up your MTA. I can sell you on internet. I can upgrade your internet. I don't even know why I know this shit, but I know it because I've been watching this dude's channel, and he turned me into an excellent cable support rep. I don't even know how it happened. I just blinked one day and now I know all cable issues. All right, man. So chopping. Okay. Oh, we already worked this issue. Okay, cool. I had a feeling that we worked all those short issues, but this is okay. Wow. What is your CPU, GPU, PSU, motherboard, memory, RAM, and chassis? Okay, so yeah, that's kind of an interesting one. Tight juggernaut. Okay, just ask for everything, but he may be right. We'll find out here in a second. So computerly randomly shutting down, then starting up by itself. My computer. Let me check that. Okay, my computer only recently started doing this with no hardware changes. It randomly shuts down like someone pulled the power plug and then starts back up by itself. Not a crash, no BSOD or audio loops. It randomly shuts down like somebody pulled the power plug and then starts back up by itself. Okay, well, it starts back up by itself because it has a boot upon power loss. I don't believe it's overheating because I constantly monitor GPU, CPU temps. This happens around 1 time per day. Anyone had this issue before? And if there's a fix, then obviously checking the connections in the outlet PSU, how to troubleshoot this. He's right. This guy's right. Out of curiosity, do you have a Ryzen 7700X or anything in that lineup? Because if you do, we can skip everything and I can tell you how to fix it. LOL. But yeah, I agree with my colleague. Could you let us know your CPU? He also said something. What else did he say that was interesting? Beside power plug. Oh, your CPU, GPU, your CPU specs. Also, the reason your PC is booting upon, okay, I'm sorry, I can't see that. Booting upon power loss is that you have the feature turned on in BIOS. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. It's an excellent feature. It's really good. It's really good. I like power on booting upon power loss. It's really useful. Okay, well, Impet, I hope that lets us know. But yeah, he's right. He was a dick about it, but he was right. Hey, bro. Hey, cuz. Give me your CPU, GPU, memory, RAM, chassis. I want to know your mother's address and your mother's phone number, and I'll let you know what your problem is. I mean, he wasn't very nice about it, but he's right. I mean, we can't figure it out unless we know the CPU. But if it was a 7700X, then he has my issue where it just rebooted. Like literally, what was that? Like a week and a half ago? I guess it will be a little over a week now, where it just I'm middle of the stream, trying and talking and carrying on, and it just powers off. And once it did that, it was over. I spent my entire weekend trying to fix that darn thing and turned off everything. Like I think my CPU was still in eco mode. Like I didn't even care. It was whatever it took in order to get it to work properly. Now, to be fair, the 7950X's eco mode is actually not really all that bad. But yeah, I turned off everything. I turned off precision boost, eco mode. I disabled the Radeon driver, which is an issue that came back to haunt us like 20 seconds ago. And yeah, I did everything that I could to keep that thing from power cycling. But now it's been great. It hasn't power cycled once. So yeah. Okay, cool, Juggernaut. I think we are good here. Let me see. Do I have another one? Oh yeah, the Bluetooth issue. So let me grab one more because it's 9:30. So we'll grab got any interesting ones? Page fault. Oh, I hate page fault issues because it's just page fault. There's not a whole lot more you can say about it. So we'll do Bluetooth and we'll do page fault because I'm rusty with page fault. I might as well grab it. DVDs. I've had a DVD issue in years because I'm an old fart and we don't do DVDs where I'm from. Okay, so we'll do it this way. All right, that'll finish it for today. Okay, this is from OK Oil 4784. I don't know how I was able to pronounce that immediately, but OK writes, generic Bluetooth radio. Hey, I've got code 31 on my generic Bluetooth radio. What should I do? Ooh, code 31. That's not good. I've already tried using Intel Driver Support Assistant, updating drivers from Windows, deleting and reinstalling again, and changing ports for the Bluetooth adapter. For those of you at home, code 31, that's system event viewer. I'm sorry, start Windows event viewer, and then under system for his Bluetooth adapter, he's getting a code 31, which is death, if I remember correctly. Code 31, event viewer. Event viewer. No, you cannot fix it easy. Don't you dare say that. Yeah. Okay. I just needed to see it. Yeah. So code 31 is death. Is what most people just call it. And Windows cannot load the drivers required for this device, code 31, right? So you can see it in two different places. You can see it in system under event viewer. You can also see it whenever you go to the driver. So going back to his issue, okay, he said, making sure nobody asks a question. Okay, cool. He said, I've already tried using the Intel Driver Support Assistant. Okay, updating the driver from Windows. Okay, deleting and reinstalling again. Okay, changing ports for the Bluetooth. Oh, it's a port. It's a USB Bluetooth adapter. Okay. So it's a USB Bluetooth adapter. Well, shit. He's already updated the drivers. He already deleted and reinstalled again. So he's already deleted the application that's associated with it, and he's changed the ports for the Bluetooth adapter. Bro, you've done everything. Those are literally what you would do to troubleshoot a USB Bluetooth issue. Well, okay, so it's a USB. Well, but you literally have done everything to troubleshoot a USB Bluetooth adapter issue. The only option you really have at this point would be to plug it into another computer. What I'm thinking about is I never thought about that. I was gonna say I don't care if it's a Nintendo Switch. I think the Nintendo Switch can go Bluetooth if you plug a USB Bluetooth into it, but I'm not 100% on that because I can't remember. I used to know that you can plug in a USB dongles into it and it will actually take it, like a USB to Ethernet. It'll take it no problem, but probably not Bluetooth. The only option you really have at this point would be to plug it into another computer. And the only reason I'm thinking about a Nintendo Switch is because if he doesn't have another computer, he probably has a gaming console. To plug it into another computer to see if it works. That's all you can do. He's done everything. Those are exactly what you would do. Well, okay. These are exactly what you would do to troubleshoot his issue. That's literally 3 steps. Intel Driver Support Assistant, I mean, you can, but there's no real point if you already know what driver it is. He updated it through Windows already, and then he deleted it and reinstalled it again, changing ports for the Bluetooth adapter. Oh, there's one thing. Also, you can go to the Bluetooth adapters website to see if they have a driver, but this is kinda old school knowledge, meaning that most companies have moved away from this and just let Windows handle it. That's just my old brain talking. That to try to do the whole Bluetooth and go to their website and download the most up-to-date drivers. I don't know if that's true anymore, but then again, I don't know how long he's had this issue. So it's a possibility that he could have an older driver, in which case he may have to download the driver from their software site or from their site. But most Bluetooth adapters and Wi-Fi dongles, they don't let you do that anymore. They usually just let you install it through Windows, especially if it's 10 or 11. But, you know, it's still something that we should at least bring up, because if not, and I don't bring it up, and that ends up being the issue, I'd be pissed. So let's just say that that's what I would do, and we'll just call it at that. So, okay, Oil, just keep us posted. All right, where's that page fault issue? Let's get it over with. Okay, page fault. Log jumping _ hand. Okay, let me some water first. Of course, we got to finish with a page fault issue. Keep getting page fault in non-page area error, and my games keep crashing. Yeah, I'll crash from that. Does anyone know how to fix this? I will go launch a game a game on my PC, and it will most likely crash in blue screen. Most of the time it crashes though. I am certain my PC can run these games, and not even that. I have a Gigabyte B660M, and there is a orange solid light on. Memory. Sounds like you may have a memory issue. Out of curiosity, how much RAM do you have? How many and how many sticks? I know you can also go to increase the video RAM. And I can't remember where it's at off the top of my head, but yes, you can do that. But I don't really think he's B-sodding. So if he's B-sodding, increasing that won't really fix it. He has a memory issue. Well, it could be a lot of different things, because it's page fault and non-page fault area. Like, that could be a lot. That could be a lot. But we'll go with memory for right now. Out of curiosity, how much RAM you have and how many sticks. So what we want to get to is that we want him to try to swap out the different RAM sticks like that other guy did, and see if that fixes the issue. Don't want to say anything else to this. I made it short because I thought we need accurate analysis of B-sides dumb fault. Oh, there's a moderator on this, huh? Override dumb fault. He's going all in. I mean, you can go all in on that, but safe mode? If you can get into Windows normally or through safe mode, could you check Windows mini dump for any dump faults? Oh yeah, he going in. I'm not going that far. Sounds like you may have a memory issue. Out of curiosity, how much RAM do you have and how many sticks? I'd rather go surface level on this one, because you go that far, like this is true support. This is like pay me kind of support when you start going that deep, but I think we may be able to fix him just by looking at his issue and troubleshooting, and he may just have a bad RAM stick, and it may not present itself as an issue until he starts to actually utilize his RAM. So I'd rather go with that for a non-page fault issue. Not as bad as I thought it was going to be. It's like ripping off a Band-Aid. All right, so we'll finish with this networking issue and we'll call it a day. Imagine Dragon 9. Okay. Imagine Dragon writes, is it already worked this issue? No. Is there software to convert 60 FPS video into 60i like on DVDs? 60 FPS video? Okay. 60i, I as an interlace and P as in progressive, but that has nothing to do with the frame rate. That's just how the video is. I have a video that's 720p at 60 FPS and I want to convert it to 480p at 60i. The quality of a DVD for a project I am working on. The quality of a DVD? Good God. For a project I am working on, is there a software that does that? Thanks. Yeah, he said the same thing. I imagine video converters should be able to. So fun fact, yeah, you can probably find a converter. Nothing springs to mind, but there is a reason I'm saying this. This is because a lot of converters typically are malicious. So I can't recommend something I don't normally use or try, as I want to avoid you catching any issues. But to help, you can give a video the look of a 480p video by adding overlays or effects in editing software programs like Premiere Pro and iMovie. Hope that helps. That was fun. Yeah, so yeah, you don't want to do that. That's bad juju. We had another person that asked us an issue about software, and I didn't give him a recommendation, and it was the same reason. Sometimes you run into software, particularly converter software, where like a lot of it is malicious, and the reason why is because a lot of people want to use converter software in order to, one, rip movies, and two, rip YouTube. So because of that, people know that, so it's easier for people to download malicious software using that kind of software. So because of that, I don't want to recommend something and then actually be something malicious, or install something malicious and he didn't see it and it was on accident, and he did it because I told him to. So I always stray away from this type of software. Now, if you know, if we were talking about editing software, I'd say Adobe, because Adobe is something that's well known. Everybody knows that it's good, and you know, it's a good product to use, and we know it's not malicious. But when you say software converter, oh no. Don't ever give somebody a recommendation when it comes to software conversion, because they may literally download something malicious and not even realize it. Because that's just something that people do. They just, that kind of software, people have conversion software, and then it may convert it and then also install like 8 programs in the meantime. So yeah, okay, cool. That's our last one, you guys. It's 9:44. That's a good run, and we didn't play a single game. So hey, maybe this is something that we may want to do, and maybe put in different pictures and stuff in order to actually do it. It looked like a lot whenever I set it up like this, but it worked out for the best. So hey, I'm not upset. We worked like 30 issues. How many people did we help? We probably helped like 35 people. Like that's pretty solid. I'll take it. So whew, let me do my outro. That's going to do it for today's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you like this video, go ahead and like button. If you really like it, go to subscribe. I love you either way. Take care. All the best. And bye. GG, man. Thanks for the content. No problem, Vex. See you tomorrow.